All right, good evening, folks. Welcome to Debate the News on this Tuesday, the 25th of February, 2025. Man, oh man, it's been a hell of a day. A lot of things, a lot of interesting things are happening. So we're going to cover a whole bunch of different things today, a bunch of different topics, and I'm excited to get started. As always, man. So we have the whole crew here to get you guys up and started, man. But first and foremost, man, look, hey, if you guys are listening to us, and if you're listening to us from whether it's uh, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart, Overcast, Pandora, wherever you may be listening to us. Hey, why don't you guys come join us live? We record these rooms nightly, approximately 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night, and you guys can come join us. All you have to do is download the Chatter Social app. That app can be found on either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. So feel free to join us. But with that being said, hey, also, if you're in the room, all right, click the link up top. Hopefully, someone put the other link up top there. But click the link up top. Follow the podcast. Follow the podcast, guys. Go ahead and download some episodes and leave a review. Let us know what you think. But with that being said, folks, we're ready to get started. I'm excited to be here. I know you guys are excited to be here. Tonight we're speaking about politics, whether or not it's dividing us as a nation, as family, friends, and hell, here on this chatter platform as well. So it's going to be a very insightful and interesting conversation, folks. So I'm excited to be here. Hopefully, you guys are just as excited as I am. And yeah, man, let's get this thing going. So, hey, put your debates hat on, and once this thing stops, we're gonna jump right in because there's a lot of things happening. All right, folks. Welcome to Debate the News on this Tuesday evening. Man, oh man. So, uh, is politics dividing us? That's the question. And I definitely want to have that question answered. So, I'm excited to be here. Hopefully, you guys are just as excited as I am to be here. So, it just seems like a lot of us are finding ourselves having very, uh, I guess contested conversations and arguments and debates about politics, and it's no longer about it's no longer politics. It's personal, so it's become something rather personal to all of us. And so as I listen to the discourse here in the Discord that we have here as well, it's become I guess blatantly obvious that something has changed. So it's no longer, hey, we're Americans, we're left, we're right, and if hey, and one side I believe in particular believes, hey, if you're not with them, you're against them. So we're gonna have that conversation here tonight. So I'm excited to have it. I'm definitely excited to be here and have this discussion. What I want to do is, before we get started, I want to go and I want to go to Daphne Christine. Daphne Christine, do you have an economical dateline for me?
Oh, you love putting me on the spot. I sure do. Give me 1 second. What I can't do is have both these mics open at the same time. I don't know if you guys got that horrible echo, so I apologize. I hadn't considered that. Can you hear me, Jonathan and friends?
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
All right. Thanks so much. All right, you guys. Well, let me give it a shot at this again, and we'll see what we can do tonight. For let's see. I don't know. Welcome to what are we going to call this, Jonathan? The business dateline. I'm Daphne Christine, and I'm bringing you the latest on economy, business, and major policy shifts shaping our world today. We begin with a sharp decline in consumer confidence, you guys. The Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index for February plummeted to 98.3, the largest drop since August 2021. As inflation fears take hold, this marks the third straight month of decline, mirroring the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Survey. Economic jitters are rising as the Trump administration moves to reshape America's trade policies. Meanwhile, new data shows that America's economy is more reliant than ever on the wealthiest 10% of earners. While high income households continue to spend beyond inflation, the rest of the country just isn't keeping up pace. It's raising concerns among economic disparities. Jonathan, in the housing market right now, the tide is turning. Home buyers are finally regaining leverage thanks to a slowing demand and a growing supply of homes. After years of the intense competition, buyers have the upper hand once again, you guys. Turning to policy, the federal judge has temporarily blocked key parts of former President Trump's executive orders targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The ruling comes after plaintiffs argued that the orders overstep executives' authority and violated due process rights. Trade tensions in China are heating up. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is introducing new legislation to strengthen U.S. trade enforcement, aiming to curb Chinese supporting companies that relocate production to to dodge American tariffs. Additionally, the U.S. Trade Representative's office is considering charging Chinese-built ships up to 1.5 million to enter U.S. ports, targeting Beijing's expanding influence in global shipping. And in corporate news, Apple's doubling down in U.S. investments, pledging 500 billion amid ongoing tariff threats. The tech giant also announced plans to open a new server factory in Houston by 2026. And finally, in the wake of ongoing supply chain disruptions, Denny's has quietly added an egg surcharge to its menu. The move, which varies by location, highlights the continued impact of shortages across the restaurant industry. And before we go, you guys, an explosive new report out of Florida. A secret study reveals that while insurers claimed losses following hurricanes Irma and Michael, their parent companies raked in billions. A closer look at the numbers raised serious questions about the financial transparency in the insurance industry. So, you guys, that's the business dateline for today. I'm Daphne Christine. Stay informed, stay empowered, and welcome to Debate the News. Thank you.
Hugh.
Good stuff there. Good stuff there. Hey, all right. So with that being said, let's move into the other datelines. I appreciate that. Hey, Skull, are you there, Skull, my friend?
I am.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure you're ready because I want Storm to go first. Storm, let's go. Let's rock out.
Daphne Christine, what a way to open the show. And I got to say, speaking of which, of shows, let's have all a moment of silence for Joy Reid getting fired from MSNBC. Such a sad day. She's a political commentator and television host, and she was fired from her position where she anchors the Read Out. And she just wanted to be thanked by President Rebecca Cutler for her many years of service, starting in 2020, and got the axe in 2025. Moving on, we do have aviation news, and we have two near misses today. We had a Southwest Airlines flight nearly miss a private aircraft. They were told to stop short of the runway. The private aircraft wandered onto the runway when the Southwest Boeing 737-900 was trying to attempt a landing, and miraculously, with flaps down, full power on, narrowly missed and escaped another collision with the aviation industry. We have no idea what's going on. And also to pack that on, United Airlines flight forced to make an emergency landing at Newark. A Boeing 757 carrying 176 passengers and 6 crew thankfully landed safely after the emergency landing. Moving on to politics. We've got, yes, House Republicans approved a budget framework for President Donald Trump's sweeping domestic policy agenda Tuesday. This is a major victory for Speaker Mike Johnson, who worked directly with Trump and fellow leaders in a chaotic last ditch effort to win over naysayers with the GOP rank. And the vote went entirely almost on party line, 217 to 213, with Representative Thomas Massey holding out for the Republicans. And this will allow border security, and this will allow safety for all Americans so we don't have to worry about our kids, about our families. And it's a big, beautiful bill. And finally, as you all know, this is something that we all can really I guess, kind of thank our commander in chief for. Yes, Melania Trump has reopened tours to the White House. This is the first time in many, many years where the public can get a glimpse at the first family where they live in the history of our great American country. And sure enough, who surprises everybody today on tour? President Donald John Trump makes a shocking appearance at the White House tour, and the fans go crazy. God bless America, and may you all have a safe and
Okay, Storm.
I can't
I,
even say it. Okay, I got to go there. So, anyway, God bless America.
okay. All right, guys. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And we're gonna keep this thing moving. Skull, what do you have from the left today, sir?
Well, I've got a few talking points here from the left. Also, some general things about the economy. I also saw those narrow aircraft crashes. There's actually a video of that plane almost crashing into that private plane, pulling up at the last minute. It's harrowing to watch if you haven't seen it, all over social media. Additionally, the fear rating in the US stock market hit the highest rate since 2022. This is just fear among investors. Uh, the last time it was this high was due to inflation sort of kicking up and starting to look like a problem. In addition, let's get into some political news here. So, firstly, a plan has been submitted to President Trump by Eric Prince, the former CEO of Blackwater, XE, Academy, whatever you want to call their private military company. He has submitted a plan to create a private citizen army, camps, and use a fleet of 100 planes to begin mass deportations, and that these mass deportations would be carried out by private citizens. Up next, we have a withdrawal from Five Eyes that was pitched today. Canada being withdrawn from Five Eyes was being whispered and rumored today. Five Eyes is a intelligence sharing operation between New Zealand, Australia, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. It basically says, hey, all of us have cool spy satellites. Why don't we share data with each other? It's just been a friendly way to keep an eye on the enemies of America, and asking for Canada to be removed from it is not a good sign, my friends, especially if you're up there north of the border. Up next, we have a sort of comical story, an AI video of Trump licking, kissing, and just otherwise worshiping Elon Musk's bare feet was playing on various televisions and federal buildings today and has leaked out all across the internet. This is an AI generated video, folks. It is not real, but it is pretty funny. And
Yeah, it
then
is.
lastly, we've got we've got the big news, which was 21 of the 40 Doge staffers resigned, citing that they had a constitutional obligation and that they refused to repeal or impact critical systems going against their constitutional oaths. So 21 of the 40 Doge staffers have resigned, an agency in turmoil, folks. Not only did Musk send out his little letter on Sunday, this Monday morning, the agency heads said don't respond to it. Today, the White House press secretary clarified that you listen to your agency head and not to Musk. They also clarified that Allison Gleason, the head of USDS, is still the head of Doge, not Musk. And for those of you that don't know, the USDS is the actual department that got renamed to Doge and is where the 21 of the 40 people mass resigned this morning. So a little bit of trouble in paradise there for the Doge team. And that concludes my Dateline.
Wow, great information there, guys. And I want to start there, guys. So, and we're going to open this up right away, but I want to start there because the Doge employees resigning, and when you look at the Doge people, Skull, and Skull, you're welcome to come up here. You guys are welcome to come up, as long as we don't have no more than four up at a time. But when you look at the Doge people resigning, they're resigning because of the fact that they said that they constitutional, I guess obligation to protect the systems. And if the people that work there are saying that what they're doing is harmful, okay, to the government and to us, when are regular Americans that are, let's say, I don't know, MAGA people, when are they going to wake up? When the Doge people that's actually doing these cuts, if they're saying, hey, you know, this is harmful to our democracy, harmful to our country, when do regular Americans get in and say, you know what? Maybe this is as harmful because this doesn't seem. I mean, when you have people that's leaving in mass, when people are quitting, when you have prosecutors quitting, when you have, I guess, employees quitting rather than to carry out these orders. That says a lot, you know. It gives you hope that this country will be all right, but it also frightens you as well to let you know that we have a problem. So that's what I'm more concerned about there, folks. The fact that we may have a problem there. You know, and I find that, you know, and it goes right to the heart of, you know, our politics dividing us, you know, the US, friends and family. And I know there are plenty of families that aren't speaking anymore as a result of politics, you know, and you know, friends as well. You know, I see it here on this app, the social media app, social audio app. When we have these conversations, people that just have a difference of opinion is attacked for having a difference of opinion, not not because they said anything personal. They just have a difference of opinion. So with that being said, there's a lot going on here, guys. I think this is going to be a spicy one because of the fact that it's real and it hits home. So I'm going to open this thing up, folks. Our politics dividing us, and it has it divided us. Have it divided us? I'm going to say a resounding yes. I see it all the time. You know, people come in, you know, and you know, one day they're for an issue, and then all of a sudden, you know, the leader of the party or someone say, "Oh, we're against that issue." They come back the next day and they're hard against that issue. That's a problem. So the mic's open. Marty, you shaking your head. You want to jump in on
Hey
this?
man,
Go ahead.
you hit it right on the head right there. The same politics and the politicians that we absolutely go crazy over, lose friends, family, and relationships over, they decide they want to go left today and they're strong against right, but then 3 weeks from now they're going right and strong against left. But the American citizens have completely destroyed relationships, everything, in some cases losing jobs, absolutely losing their mind, cussing people out as we do here on a nightly basis off the backs of people who don't even keep their own word, to the point where we argue about them keeping their word and abstaining to certain agreements and sticking to certain things that, but at the same time we also know that they don't do that for real. Whenever they're ready to change, they're going to change. Don't And it doesn't matter what we think about it. So absolutely, politics are dividing us. We can't talk about it at work. You can barely talk about it outside in public with people. It's such a divisive topic. They don't want to talk about it in places. I mean, it's sad. It truly is sad. And I do hope one day the American people will wake up and realize, hey, you're fighting two wings of the same bird. You really got to realize it's we the people.
No, you brought up a good point, Marty, because you guys may or may not remember this, but right when Chatter got started, I took this poll out to the streets. And when it was election time, I wanted to know, who are you voting for? Are you voting for Trump? Are you voting for Biden? You know, or Kamala? In any case, you guys almost got me killed out there on the streets. People do not want to talk about politics, and I might as well have asked them about their underwear drawer, you know, and they were very offended. So I think that people get they in real life, I think people get mad even if you just ask about it. It's almost like you're an agitator just by asking a question. What are you seeing out there, Storm?
Before you go there, Storm, I think that's wrong. I think people come in looking for politics. I think they usually it's not supposed to be politics, religion. People come in looking for politics. They wear their MAGA hat, they wear their MAGA pin, they do all that stuff to let you know where they stand. So yeah, I have to disagree with that. But go ahead, Storm. Let's do it.
Yeah, Daphne, you're bringing up a good point. I think that it's definitely raised the temperature of our conversations because we are constantly bombarded with what our government is doing for us or to us. And depending on which news media outlet you're watching, you're either going to go one way or you're going to go another. And you could actually look at the other side of that media outlet and say, God, you guys are just crazy. You're insane. And we talk about it every single night. And what I find very interesting is everything is very convenient at the touch of a fingertip. We can get on social media, we can get on chatter, we can talk about our viewpoints. We're obviously persecuted for our beliefs and what we feel and what we feel is logical. We know one side is crazy. Thank God it's not Team Storm. That's all I got to say. I just want to thank all of Team Storm for being on the right. But you know what? We're more divided than ever. It's going to continue to drop a wedge in. The more Trump does well, the more people are going to go crazy. The more Trump does, the more people are going to go crazy. And you know what? This might actually be the brink of a civil war, and I hate to say it. But you know, really, truly, I'm hoping finally we can find a way to come together and actually agree on certain things and find out what we agree on, and then also find out where we disagree to see if we can maybe just kind of scoot around the table, see their viewpoint, see if it is crazy. Instead of just calling each other names, we find a way to actually find common ground.
You know, it's interesting listening to you because you said one side's crazy and it's not us. And so you know that tells you basically how polarized your thoughts are. So it's very polarized. You have some very polarizing thoughts. So with that being said, Storm, you know,
Hang
as
on,
I
Jonathan.
listen,
I got to say thank you for finally admitting
yeah,
you're on the other
no.
team.
So
Thank you.
so one second. What I'm saying to you is this right here. We're all Americans, okay? And oh, you're okay. You say it may lead to a civil war, okay, and you seem to be okay with that as well. Yeah, now you that yeah, it may lead to so everything that you said, it's just been very polarizing, and that's what and this is what we I feel a lot of Americans are dealing with this a form of delusion where people aren't even aware that they're delusional. You know, we can't even have, and I mean in all the most respectful way, because when we have these conversations and you say those things, that means that you already don't you're not open to a discussion if it's not what you want to hear and it's not what you want to believe. I've seen you and others, you know, have discussions and people are, when you're presented with the facts, you still don't give. We got one nutcase here in our family that's going around, spent the whole day on our chat stream, our chat messages, spend the whole day saying that Trump didn't say that Ukraine started the war. Okay. And I love her to death, but this nutcase has been going around all day long, you know, despite the evidence that we're presenting her, you know, and everyone else is saying that Trump said it. She's saying, oh, he didn't say it. So I'm not gonna
Listen,
call Diana out.
somewhere,
I'm not
somewhere
gonna call
on this
Diana out.
planet, what you're saying is straight treason. Treason. And not you bona fide crazy people certified calling us delusional. Nope. Don't. He didn't say it. Did not say it. I win. We win. Team three. I'll be Team Storm today. Team Storm.
Okay. You know, two, you want to jump in on this too? Two, are you here? 2B, because 2B, him and I all day today. Two, what do you think about Diana? Her belief that Trump never said that Ukraine didn't that Trump didn't say that Ukraine started the war. What are your thoughts about that too?
I'm becoming concerned for her, man, because it's I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to it at this point. Is she kidding? Do she have an agenda she's trying to? I really don't know. Because we read it, we seen it, we heard it. I don't know what else. I mean, what else can we do to prove? Even Marty agreed to it earlier. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe she's just playing with us and it's a big a practical joke or something.
You see how you guys turn everybody into Russian spies just because they have a different opinion? That's what you guys did yesterday to Sir Trump. Mm-mm.
You
Not
brought up
happening
Russian
here
spies.
anymore. We're not going to let you guys get away with it anymore. No mas. No mas.
So
Trump have a
Diana,
spell on these people, man. I'm glad I didn't get any of that Kool-Aid.
so Diana, just to be clear, your position is Trump never said that Ukraine started this war, correct?
Just to be clear, during a Dateline, it was said in quotations, Ukraine started the war. All I said was he did not say that in quotations. He did not say Ukraine started the war. He said what he said, and people did what they do, and they twisted it, flipped it, and reversed it, and dished it out a completely different way. And you guys know it, and we took all day to prove it. And I was right.
Well,
Uh,
JB, you have to. We have to say in the in quotation part though, we have to say that regardless to what we make it to be in context, what is said in quotation has to be factual to what she's saying. Now she does have a point. That's not what was
she does
in
not
quote.
have a point, Marty.
Remember, no, 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 no. Remember, I read it and I agreed. Yes, he did say they shouldn't have had did it, but the in quotation that was presented was not factual to the in quotation that was
Now,
given.
guys, listen to me. We're arguing whether whether or not peppermints are candy. You know, it's just like, come on.
That's not correct because the seriousness about this
The
is that,
seriousness.
yes, the seriousness of, look, I'm gonna put my troll side aside, okay? So when you took his words and you said that he specifically and only blamed Ukraine, that is not accurate because he is
He did. He did.
quoted, he is quoted saying that he recognizes Russia as the aggressor.
No, he
He
did
is
not
putting
say.
blame on both of them. He's throwing that blame confetti, red, white, and blue for everybody. He has been saying both are to blame in his own separate ways. And the police people here want to hear it in a certain way. And it's not going to happen. It doesn't work
Okay.
like that.
You know what? I want to go to someone else on the right. Anyone else on the right that believes her, or anyone on the right disagrees with her? Anyone there? Anyone down there that's on the right? Because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hello.
Your reputation is at stake here. Anyone on the right? I want someone else on the right to jump in. Is there anyone here? I can call on you. uh,
Hello.
who's that?
Hello. It's Sergey,
Oh, Sergey.
Doctor Responsible. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Go ahead, Doctor Responsible. Let's do it.
So I'm not gonna say that she's 100% correct. I just listened to the clip 6 times. I can't tell who he's talking about. He's saying, I'm mad. They should have been there. They've been there for 3 years. I can't tell whether he's talking about Russia or with the Ukraine, but I don't think it's as simple and cut and dry as Diana is crazy for
Okay,
this
let me
one.
help him since he's trying to help me. Dr. Responsible, he's absolutely talking about Ukraine in that clip. Like 100%. He's talking about Ukraine. Like that we're not debating that at all.
Now you flip
Question.
that position. Now you're flipping that position because you know how crazy you sound.
Okay, so what is the position?
Yeah, yeah,
Question.
yeah.
Look, this all again for the people in the back, right? Open up both ears this time. This happened because we take Datelines seriously, right? And don't let me get on Scald, right? Because I've got his list too. It was reported that Trump said, in quotes, Ukraine
No, he
started the
didn't say so.
war. And he did not say Ukraine started the war. He did not say those exact words. That was the first technical part. Why it matters was because it was then twisted and used to say that he is a freaking Russian spy, that he's supporting only Putin, that he's only blaming Ukraine, and none of that is true. And the people get empowered by hearing that he flat out calls Ukraine as the sole person to blame when he has acknowledged Russia as the first aggressor, and that not even just in 2022 but also 2014 they acknowledge that Putin moving forward is a proactive move of war, not a reactive. He's the aggressor, period. But that doesn't mean that we get to sit here and criticize the American president who's trying to be the mediator and stop people from dying. Sorry, that's how I see it.
This is
Our
delusional,
goal, our
Jonathan.
goalpost got wheels on it.
Yeah,
This is delusional.
go post that's definitely has wheels on it.
Keep up and keep playing though, because what do you got? You guys are basically saying, okay, then let's do nothing. That's what you guys are saying. And this was
Jonathan.
the best one, right? When everybody was like, why didn't Zelensky get a seat at the table? Listen, when you are in mediation, it's okay to not bring both parties at the freaking table. He was trolling Zelensky because Zelensky went and gathered everybody else who then jumped on Trump and said, why aren't we invited? What the hell were you doing in 3 years? Hello? Yeah,
What,
A
what,
we
president,
can
a
have the same
president trolling,
conversation here.
a president trolling. Y'all okay with a president trolling?
Oh,
yeah.
100%. As long as it's in my face, 100%. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Mediation, that is a hostile
Yeah,
takeover.
I know, but one second,
Mediation
two.
has two parties.
One second,
But
two,
but
two.
but you
One
don't
second,
have to put
Diane,
both parties on the
Diane. The
same
two was
table.
two. I want Ty to jump in. Ty been trying to jump in for a moment. Go ahead, Ty.
President Trump said at a press conference that Ukraine started the war. Start means initiate. Today or yesterday, the current administration at the United Nations sided with Putin, North Korea, and several other states in a resolution against the most of the UN stating who started the war. Every sentient individual on the planet knows that Putin initiated and started and invaded a sovereign country. Every person sees that. And the fact that
True.
administration this
Not
administration
true.
is saying that
I'm a sentient individual. I don't
Ukraine
agree with that.
started, well, every sentient intelligent person, let me put it like that,
Most of this.
well, so understands who actually started the war, who was the aggressor. I mean, it's like, what
No
color is the
one is
sky?
denying that. Hello?
And Trump
Actually, Trump has
said,
Hello.
denied that,
and
but
Trump denied it,
Hello.
saying that it wasn't you, that Ukraine was the aggressor, which is just
That's
asinine
because
and
Trump has
ridiculous.
inside information and none of you guys do. You're watching from so
You
no,
don't
far.
no,
have it either, Grant.
Biden had that inside
Yeah.
information as well. So
You
that's
don't
Yeah, he
have
bullshit.
it.
did. He did, and
Brandon know.
He approved him to
We
move to the
well we
border, and then he
well we
approved
saw
for
Well,
him to
hey,
cross the
Grant,
border.
wait. Let's let Ty land real
And
fast.
you
Go ahead,
know
Ty.
that.
well we
Go
saw
ahead,
well
Ty.
we
Go.
saw the
Just
tanks,
two
we saw
weeks
the
ago,
tanks
excuse
invade
me,
and cross
just
the
2 weeks
No,
border.
no,
ago.
Ty. Grant, let Ty land. I want
No,
Ty to
no,
land.
it's too boring, dude. I can't even.
No. He's gonna land real fast. Let's let him. He's about to land right now. Go ahead, Ty.
Well,
Land the
I
plane.
don't have to give any deference to him at all. He ain't nobody. But
I understand that, but
the
I
fact
want to land the plane.
we saw tanks invade a sovereign country. I mean,
That's true. All right, Ty, you're in the Matrix. Go ahead, jump in, Grant. Is
two
Ty in the
weeks ago.
Matrix?
See, that's the way it would be, right? The universe throws him in the matrix when he's way overdue.
I'm not in the matrix.
Two
I'm
weeks
not in the
ago,
matrix. I just
two
turned it off. I don't want to hear Grant's nonsense.
Okay,
two
okay.
weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, if you guys were in this room, you probably heard me say something like, "Why don't we provide a million people immediate access to the United States if they bring $5 million?"
That was last week.
Yeah, thank you, sir. What was announced
Again,
today?
another
What
non
was announced
sequitur.
today?
Okay, but what does that have to do with Putin?
Well, because
That
Nothing
has
at
to do
all.
with
Because
Putin,
over
Nothing at
man.
two and
all.
a half years ago,
Nothing.
I told you guys, and I've been consistent the whole time, as I was with COVID, that Putin was not the aggressor. Okay? Joe Biden orchestrated this event. They're warmongers.
This is BS, man. Come on.
Okay?
Chris, one
Complete.
mic.
This is delusion again.
Ty, let's let him land because we just asked him to land. Go ahead. We did the same for you. Go ahead, Grant.
No, no, you guys know where I stand on this. And it just so happens I've been right. And and Trump has said numerous times, this would not have happened had I been in there. What do you guys think that means? Does
Think
that not mean something?
Me, you would have probably gave you
He
credit
would
nothing.
for.
not,
He
Putin
would
would
have.
not have been allowed to go in. That's what it means, dude.
Okay.
Grant, the
So
problem
if
with
Putin would
that,
have been allowed to go in,
How many superpowers do you guys
If
think there
Putin would
are?
Grant, if Putin would not
Excuse
have been allowed to go in,
How many
Jonathan
superpowers do you
wait,
think there
Grant,
are,
hold
he
on,
Jonathan?
doesn't know, Jonathan. He's just pulling it out of the
Yeah,
crack of
but
his
hold on
behind.
one
He
second,
doesn't know what he's
Ty.
talking about.
Ty, one more mic, please. If he wouldn't have been allowed to go in, then you know that shows that everything else that Trump does. What you're saying is obviously Putin was allowed to go in. Putin was the aggressor. Putin did all this other shit. So you're arguing against yourself if you're saying Putin wouldn't have been allowed to go in. You're making a point that the rest of the world was making that Putin went in.
I said he would
Okay.
not have allowed to be good. He would have had to get approval from the sitting president, in this
yeah,
case,
but
Donald Trump, and he would
Oh,
have never approved
guys.
of it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Grant, but he has that
Don't
approval
you
though.
guys, y'all can't, like, what does it mean that Trump says it would have never happened had I been there? He only
Out
Trump
of your
spent
doesn't.
three.
Trump
lying
doesn't
idiot.
talk that manly. He doesn't
Uh,
talk
uh,
that manly. And
Grant,
Why do you
you
say
got
it, Arnold's? Why do you say
yeah,
Arnold
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Schwarzenegger?
you're
Arnold
right.
Schwarzenegger, like
I did
Putin.
sound
That's
kind of Arnold,
crazy.
didn't I, Daphne?
let me come in here, Grant. The problem with your position is that remember that Trump told you that he discussed Ukraine with Putin and that he knows that Ukraine was the apple in Putin's eyes, and he told Putin that he could have it. Remember? And that was during his administration. How do you explain that?
for that.
Were you talking to me? I was brushing my teeth.
Uh,
I,
It
But
smells
I'm
like
I'm
Ukraine
second.
suction. It
and
I'm
the
smells
second
UN
like
on
are the
Diana.
suffocation
aggressor.
here.
Rochelle, go ahead, Rochelle.
I'm second on Diana. So Diana, so when he says to Zelensky that he's a dictator without elections, and then he says, "You've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal." Like you're literally trying to say that he was not talking about Ukraine, Diana,
Nobody was saying that.
No. You can't speak
Marty.
for her.
Do, do you,
She
Rochelle?
I'm
moved that
talking to
goalpost. Yeah, she
Diana
moved that
based on what
goalpost.
Diana was saying.
Diana's not responding to you. Rochelle, do you think that
Of course, because Team
anyone would
Storm
have had?
disinformation.
Do you think that before any one of these countries ever crosses a border, that they have to contact the superpowers, those that are in power in a superpower position?
No, you're talking about
You guys,
Russia
you guys, you
invading.
guys, you
You're
guys
talking
think
about
that
Russia invading Ukraine.
you guys think
Why
that
why why would he
they
do
run.
that?
You guys think that they run war exercises without contacting the Pentagon and saying, "Hey guys, we're
Grant,
protecting."
again, you're delusional. It's part of Team Storm's
No,
disinformation,
you guys,
misinformation
you guys
campaign.
think that.
It's idiotic to think that he's going to
Look,
let
let me ask you this
anyone
then,
in NATO
Michelle.
know, hey, I'm getting ready to invade Ukraine.
Well, he sat there for 3 weeks on the border. What are you talking about? Number
And
one, number two. Do you think how many
okay,
superpowers do you think?
and so what he
How
did
many
do that and stuff,
superpowers do you think
and
there
then
are?
we let them know, right? There's only one, the United States.
Yes, that's right. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Do you think anybody makes a move without the consideration and the United States of America saying, "Yeah, do your thing"?
No,
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, we're in agreement, Rochelle.
no, he didn't. She disagreed with you, Grant. She
Is
said
it
they do
She
make
didn't
moves.
disagree with
They
me.
do make
right?
moves. Okay,
She did not disagree with me.
I guess North Korea got the permission to shoot those missiles off, right? To test nuclear. Okay, you're right,
But that's a typical
Iran
And
as well.
Putin could have
Team Storm
Putin could
listening ears.
Putin could have been in Kiev at the 3 week mark, much less the 3 year mark,
Well, why wasn't he, Grant? What happened?
because he doesn't want to cause that kind of destruction. I
Why
can't
is he
believe
sending
these guys.
Grant? Why
He's
is he sending his disabled and his disease to the front lines? Why is he doing that, Grant?
Russia denies
Grant
that,
ain't
by the
trying to
way.
make
Why
it to Kiev.
Of course they do,
why
because
is he
it's
getting
ridiculous.
people
Question.
from other countries to come help him fight little bitty old Ukraine, Grant?
Yeah, I don't know that that's
Yeah.
true, but so I can't
It's not
comment on it.
true.
I don't. Yeah, I only comment on the things that I'm
Yeah,
99%
y'all are
confident
delusional, and
about.
that's why there's a divide in the country amongst family and
The
friends
only thing
and
delusional
political
about
foes
me is that I
alike,
would share any of
because
my
you
time with you.
guys are down with Trump, booty clapping, and being a lover to Putin.
Well,
You
no,
don't.
I have a
but
You
question.
don't
I
Question.
have a
hold.
question.
You
Question.
Rochelle,
don't
tonight.
hold. You're not objective either when it comes to Biden.
well, no,
Go ahead,
So does
Cenk.
that
I'm
make
extremely
you?
objective when it
Hold
comes to
on.
Biden. I just don't
Does
let you
that
guys shit
make
on
you
Biden.
delusional too, Rochelle?
I don't shit on Biden.
No kidding. Because you
Yeah,
had the perfect
exactly.
president. That
What,
means you're not objective.
Cindy? So what has Biden done that Trump has done? Explain.
Not the point. The point is
What you
you're
mean? It
never.
absolutely is the
No, it
point.
is the point. You're never objective.
Okay.
You had holier
Mm-hmm.
than thou as
Wonk
president
wonk.
for 4 years, and now we have as president,
Well, Trump
right?
is always, let's be clear about
Okay,
that.
all right.
Okay.
And
Before
meanwhile,
before being elected again.
meanwhile, settle, things are
He's
starting to
not.
settle down.
He's not, Cindy. He's not.
What was done the
What
last?
he
What
did
was
was
done the
wrong. You
last three
agreed
years?
earlier that what he did was wrong.
No,
What are we saying here?
what I agreed with earlier, and I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe I stepped right back into the same exact conversation 2 hours later. But that being said, is I agreed that I personally would have brought everybody to the table. But then somebody made another good point. If you're a mediator, you talk to one side first, then talk to the other, and then try to bring them together. Me personally,
I would bring everybody together. I don't want to,
But right after
I'm not,
Story made that point, Cindy, you came back and
because I'm
told him that that's not
objective.
what you do.
See, Michelle,
Cindy, you came
that's
back and said that's
called,
not what you would
no, no,
do,
no, no, no. See, that's called listening to somebody else's opinion and
and
sitting
still
back on
sticking to
it,
your opinion.
taking a breath and say, you know what?
And you
Yes,
stuck to your original opinion,
my
Cindy.
Yeah,
opinion
It
is
did
Yeah,
still
but
not
hey,
my
change.
Cindy,
opinion.
One mic,
Let
guys.
Cindy,
me say it again.
One mic,
Cindy.
one mic, because yeah, we're going way back and forth. I try to let it play out. I thought I was gonna hit a conclusion somewhere, but it's not.
Well, there is.
Go ahead, Cindy. Go ahead, do your conclusion because you just got in. I
Well,
want
I
you to go ahead.
left. I mean, I left and I came back to the same exact conversation.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
all I'm
but
saying to
Cindy,
Michelle, good,
the
good.
idea that you would mediate this and bring all three parties together, that's not how this works.
that exactly has always
They
worked.
would call Trump and say, "Hey, bro, I'm getting ready to make this move," and Trump would have said, "Yeah, we ain't making that move right now, bro."
Grant, but you sat down with
And
one,
Putin would have said, "Oh, wow, wow, I'm sorry you said that. What do you guys? You guys are crazy."
but Grant, it
And then,
does
by
look
the
like
way, what did
to
Joe
the
Yeah,
Biden
they're
public,
provide
crazy,
Grant,
bro.
Ukraine? What
to
did
the
Joe Biden?
public.
How long?
Grant, 1 second.
How
Headline.
long did Joe Biden slow pep?
Grant, one mic, please. Headline. Mute your mic. Okay, guys, keep an eye on headline. Okay, thank you so much. Go ahead, Grant.
How long did Joe Biden slow pep play, providing real support for Ukraine?
Well, I think we can
He
all figure
he
out that
If you
participated
distance.
in
count the
NATO
Obama,
There was no
along with
real
all the
support for the
with all
first
the
year and
other
a half.
countries. They did exactly what they were supposed to do in accordance with what their agreements are. Are you serious?
Oh my
Ukraine was
God.
the aggressor. Why would Biden even send assistance?
there's more
He,
than one aggressor.
yeah,
Come
Russia's
on.
the
No, that is not
Russia.
how that
Yes,
works.
Russia
No,
is the
sir.
aggressor,
No.
but the Ukraine,
Yes.
in conjunction with the UN and us, aggressed as well. So you want to make it seem like it's just black and white thing. It is rarely black and white in geopolitics. And if you
Let me
want,
let me let me
I
know
can
what war
educate.
brought in. No, let me educate you. Because
Well,
I
I'm not a
last I
war
checked,
fighter. I understand global politics.
no, but I don't need you to educate me on battle. When the only battle you see is on Call of Duty. I'm talking about real battle over here.
I can't afford an
Okay?
Xbox.
No, like this is what I cannot believe that we are here. That people are making excuses for Russia taking over, attempting to take over another country. And we're making excuses just because Trump said it. I can't believe like what type of patriots are y'all? What kind of Americans? They have killed like thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. And I'm talking about Americans as well over time. Are y'all not familiar with the USSR? Like I don't know who I am so lost. Can someone explain to me
I think you should play that song.
how now Russia is an ally? Do y'all
I
sound
didn't
y'all like
say that.
no, I know you didn't. What I've been hearing, it sounds like they're excusing what Trump is doing. And it sounds like now Russia is an ally and Ukraine is the enemy. And that changed from two different presidents, a Republican president and a Democrat president. Like we can't even agree on who our enemies are. Y'all don't think that makes us look weaker?
Russia is not our enemy.
It's not
Oh
our
my
enemy.
God.
Oh my
And we
God.
are here. And thank you. That's my point.
There
Thank
you
Oh,
you.
go, Grant.
but
And
Grant,
Okay.
me
Grant,
saying that Russia is not our
but
enemy,
Grant, when did we ever trust Russia? Come on.
well, that's a different thing.
I
For
mean, there's a reason why
That's a different thing.
I
Okay,
call
like
him the mental midget for a reason. Everybody's afraid of the mental midget over there. What are you talking
I
about?
like
Like,
that.
he is. He's a mental midget.
Donald Trump's not worried about
good.
Putin.
World War II. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're past World War II, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that doesn't mean that Ukraine is just the golden angel with all the wings on, and Russia's the evil. It's as simple as that. Ukraine, the UN, and the United States all pushed into Russia. And you talk about agreements. The UN and the United States and Europe pushed into Russia and broke agreements time after time after time.
Exactly.
One
I
second, one
think
And
you
second.
mean
and that's
NATO.
just the truth.
That's right, Sergi.
One mic. Hold up. You said we pushed into Russia. Is that what you just said?
Lies.
1 second, Ricky. You said we pushed into Russia.
We pushed into the boundaries of the agreements that have been held
No, no,
in
no,
the
no, no. But
1990s, in the late 1990s and beyond. We kept pushing forward closer. I will amend that statement. We kept pushing closer towards Russia, whether it was physically or by weapon range or whatever, or by agreement.
yeah.
Yes, we did.
Okay, we never had an agreement with in writing. Okay, we never had an agreement in
What
writing.
about the Minsk
Okay,
agreement?
okay. Well, no. What about we didn't have an agreement in writing not to allow anyone
How
Ukraine
would
in.
you feel, Jonathan, about having 35 biolabs put in your front yard?
Why would the United States?
Yeah, funded by the United States.
Okay, good. Then that means that Ukraine's an ally of us and of ours, and we need to protect them. If they
No,
allow us
no,
to put no, if
we're
they
using.
allowed us to put 35 biolives in
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
I mean they're our ally, and we need to
yeah,
protect them.
yeah. No, that
Okay.
means we're using the Ukrainian people.
Okay, so
And
that means you're for
look how
Russia
many
then.
of them
No,
died.
that means
Now,
you're for Russia because if we had 35
no, I'm
biolabs,
not
which
for
we
Russia
didn't, no,
or
no,
Ukraine. I'm
that
for
means
America.
no, that means you're for Russia, Grant. Because
No, I'm for
if the
America.
reason that Russia, if we were doing something to sustain our democracy and freedom and liberties, and you're saying that that's a problem for Russia, and you have a problem with that, then you're for Russia, Grant.
No, that's not true. Look,
It is.
I can sit at a table and argue with somebody without making you. Y'all saw
Yeah,
that with John Lesher. John
yeah,
Lesher is not my enemy.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Rochelle is
Well, yeah,
not my enemy.
let's move on from that. But what I would
Well,
say is
well,
this
well
right
I'm
here.
just saying, like in
I am
life,
your enemy, Grant.
you're not my enemy. You don't have enough. You don't have enough horsepower to be my enemy.
You're not his enemy.
So
Okay,
you're
who's
not.
that? Who's that speaking?
Booty clappers.
Question. Could I ask a question?
Okay,
I want to ask one question.
And the
Just
reason you're not
one
my enemy,
question.
Rochelle, it would require you to be a threat to me, and you're not. You can't be. So like
Grant,
you
you're
can't.
insignificant to me, so you're right. We can't be enemies because
No, you said we
you're
can't
like
be
the
enemies.
smallest. Yeah, you're right. We can't
There
be
you go.
enemies.
There you go. So you're not my enemy. We agree on that, dude. Like it's
Okay,
fine. Okay.
okay, Grant.
It,
But you are my
we don't
enemy.
have to be enemies. And if we're
The
not
enemy
enemies,
of
by
my
the way,
enemy
Rochelle,
is my enemy.
enemy, and Rochelle, since we're not enemies, in a weird way, we're friends, and you know it.
We're not friends.
Okay. I said it was in a weird way.
Grant, I think the issue here is simple. It is that you ask yourself the question: is American national interest better served by supporting Ukraine or supporting Russia? That's the question here. And when you arrive at that question, then you have to evaluate whether Trump is doing aligns with that foreign policy outlook or not. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Sir Jude, who do you think is going to be the biggest beneficiary of this after 3 years?
It depends on how he ends up. All
America.
right.
We're going
But
to
right,
rape and pillage
well,
Ukraine. Watch.
Okay, so
well,
one second. Here's the deal. I'm glad you
We're
said
going to
that.
rape and pillage some of the greatest farmland in the world.
Okay, and there you
So
go.
how would you arrange that? You would encourage Putin to go in, weaken both sides, sit out as a third party,
And then
and
and then eh,
walk in and reap the soils of the investments of others.
okay, and then have Donald Trump come in and reap the
Well,
reward
no,
and the glory.
They didn't think Donald Trump was going to win, so like they couldn't even imagine Donald Trump winning the first time, or the first time, the second time they had to steal it for him to win it or to take it back from, and the
Oh my
third time they
gosh.
didn't think he'd win it either.
All right, Grant. All right,
And
guys. Hey, real quick, guys.
you guys
Hey,
think the president of the United States is simply about the White House?
educators, Grant.
I'm just saying. Do you think we're the most powerful nation on the planet? We're going to touch everything. Like how would we have a military that is far beyond anyone's uh, capability? Why would we not be first in everything around the world? The problem is we're not first at home anymore. And that's what's happening internally. The American people are starting to stand up and say, wait a minute, we can get anything we want anywhere else, but we can't get it at home. And this is the bigger discussion that you guys should be having every night. Why are you paying so much in taxes? Why are you paying so much in property taxes? You know, the COVID thing. Why were you lied to about COVID? Because you know you were now.
Grant, we weren't lied about
These
it.
things aren't over. These things aren't over, and we should know about it.
You know, Grant, when COVID first began,
If
Trump
the
was in office.
2020 election was
Grant, when
stolen, we
COVID
should
first
know about it.
began, COVID first began, Trump was in office, and you're right. Trump did lie to us, and he admitted he lied to us. Okay, so what are you talking about? You guys are like excusing this man as if this man had nothing to do with COVID. All right, this man had a lot to do with COVID. All right, it happened under his watch. It grew under his watch.
Because it was on his watch means that it was his fault of COVID.
Okay.
Again, we
What?
keep doing this,
Well,
Jonathan. We always go back to
well,
that.
no.
Are you
Planes
serious?
crashing is Trump's fault too.
You
Okay, so if
serious
you
right
don't want to
now?
go down the COVID rabbit hole, how about our
I,
food supply? Our
I
food
don't.
supply.
I'm not trying to go down the COVID rabbit hole.
So,
You
so
Can I
went
why,
there.
ask one question in regards to COVID?
why can people go to other parts of the world and eat bread and not put on weight and not have rash breakouts? And
Yeah.
why do we have the highest medication of any
Yep,
population
Grant. But
on
you know
planet
what?
Earth?
I'm telling you
Why
what
do
we're
we
gonna do,
have
Grant.
kids that are depressed more than any other
Yeah, but
country?
I'm telling you what we're gonna do.
And
We're gonna
these
get
are
back.
the things.
We're gonna
These
get
are the
back onto
things.
politics. Okay, we're gonna get back onto politics. You're taking us way down a bunny trail right now.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this
No.
would force everybody in the room to start looking at what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that some other time. Right now, we're talking about division and politics is what we're speaking about. So I want to because we're going way off track
You
with that
told
But
right
that's
now.
part of the
So
division,
don't
Can I
blame.
Jonathan.
ask a
that's not
You're
part
question
of the
not going
division.
But
off
it
tying
track.
with the
is.
division in
Okay.
politics?
Okay.
But it
We're
is
talking
part of
about
the
Chris,
division.
jump
politics.
in. Chris, jump in.
Okay,
All these
so
things are connected, by the way. And
I think that
last night you
this
told me,
this may have been Grant that
last
said
night,
this,
Jonathan, you
that
told me we were going to
said,
talk about taxes.
Yeah, we can talk about taxes, Grant, but you weren't here. We're gonna do it.
all right,
We can do a canned show on taxes. Go ahead, sir.
okay,
Chris, go ahead.
so I think it was said that like, um, what was it like? Don't you think that the superpower gets a call like when something's about to happen and they get the okay or not? You don't think the same thing happened with COVID? Because if that's every major world decision for every major thing, that it would be the same thing. That nothing happens on accident. At least that's just the way
100%.
I see it.
100%. There were handfuls of people that got a notification via text.
Handfuls of people got notifications via text. So if people got
Look,
text messages like, "Yo, we're about to
No,
release the."
what he's saying is true, dude. I'm sorry that you guys don't know
look,
this.
I'm just a young brother from the hood. I just was going off
Bruh,
of like the things I've been hearing
bruh,
and
bruh.
attributed something to something else.
Yes, you're absolutely 100% right.
Yeah.
Cindy could have been one of those people that got a text message. She's just not going to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Cindy, did you get a text message, Cindy?
I got.
Nah, she took the
I
shot.
no. I got. Yeah, I know. I didn't. I regret it. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust
So
me.
anyway, so getting back, guys. So the division. All right. First of all,
Do you
Grant,
guys know what happened in Vegas in day 3 of COVID?
what happened in Vegas stage 3 of COVID, Grant?
Tell us.
That never made any of the headlines. All the
What,
casinos had all their cash removed from their vaults. So
oh
how did
my
they
gosh,
know? How
Grant.
did they know?
You know what, Grant?
When you say it was removed though, who removed it? Where did it go? Since it
The
wasn't
casino,
reported.
the casinos did. They. Some of these people trust me, but they don't trust me that much.
Oh, this is not the topic, guys, man. Come on, let's go back to old.
That's crazy. Grant, listen to
Yo,
me.
Chris said he
Grant,
ain't trying to
Grant,
hear that, Grant,
yeah,
man. Just shut up.
Grant. We're gonna send somebody over to check on you, man. All
What's the
right,
error?
we're gonna send somebody to check on you because hey, you sound like you're malnourished and you're trying to get that nourishment in real quick. Okay, and two,
I'm
you're saying
actually
some
eating
real
some
crazy
dark
ass
chocolate
shit.
right now. I'm eating some 70% Keiko.
But
With,
your
Didn't you just
your
brush your
your
teeth?
title
You
says.
just brushed
Hold
your
on
teeth,
How?
Grant.
for 1 minute.
and now I'm gonna go
Your
brush them again, Catherine.
your title is "Our Politics Dividing Us, the USA, Friends and Family." When has politics not divided us?
No, Cindy. What? No, what? This is a different kind of division. Okay,
Okay, but
this is
no, this is just a division you don't like. The point is, it's always divided us.
no, Cindy. This is a different
It's
kind of
just
division.
way out more now because of why? Because of Instagram, because of Facebook and Twitter and
Because of
social
debate the
audio.
damn news.
Okay, and debate the news here. Okay, on Chatter. That's why.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We've
What are
done
you
our
talking
part.
about?
We've
You
certainly
think
done our
families
part. We
weren't
certainly,
fighting and friends weren't fighting 20 years ago off politics? Of
Cindy,
course
not
they
like
were.
this. Cindy, not like
Yeah.
this.
Yes, it's just out in our faces now.
No, Cindy, no. I don't
Yes,
know. I think
yes, it
Cindy.
is.
No, I agree that social media has a lot to do with it. Okay, and but what I'm saying is,
Everybody in this room grew up with a mother or father fighting with their parents or grandparents. Oh, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican. Da, 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 da. I heard it every
Yeah,
four
but you know
years.
what, Cindy? And that's the thing. And it stopped right there. It was majority amongst the older folks. Now this is spread for wildfire through the colleges, through the high schools. I mean, politics is just everywhere. You understand what I mean? Because so yeah,
Because of
you're right.
social.
So yeah, because of social. So what I'm saying is, yes, you are right, but you have to understand because you're right. That has also basically exploded it. I mean, you know what I mean? It's literally exploded. Everybody's talking about politics. It is
But
everywhere now. So yes, it's caused even more division than it did back then. I mean,
And Marty,
look
Marty,
at what the Trump. Look at ever since ever since it's been MAGA versus Biden, MAGA versus the. I mean, look at where we've started. I mean, look at where we're at today. You know what I'm saying? Like it's become so divided. Like politics today. Oh man.
But
and
it's
It's
Marty,
true,
just
and
Marty.
in
You
Marty.
can
your
make
argument.
that's
faces.
where you nailed it on the head,
It's
Marty. Because the
just in
thing
your
about it is when we
faces.
talk about politics now, it doesn't just stop with this is your opinion and that is my opinion. We've got the keyboard warriors. People go hard. People
Yo,
cancel each other. It's a different culture now.
people have
It's a,
lost their jobs. People have
absolutely.
lost entire careers. People have lost life. I mean, yes, it did
And people are
exist back
vile
then,
about their arguments.
Yeah,
but
People
but
can be
maybe we
now
should go back
angry.
to what we used to, what my grandmother told me. Never talk politics and never talk religion in business.
in that
Okay?
Well,
That's how
here's
it used to be, Cindy.
that's how it used to be, but
But
maybe
the
just talking about
Republicans
it is
didn't
bringing us
start
closer,
this.
not dividing us more.
So I just
What,
want to say
hold
that,
on. What did he
like,
say? What the Republicans
Pew.
do?
Oh,
What
The
up, Grant?
Republicans didn't start this.
one
The
second.
first day of Trump, he was
One
impeached.
second.
He
One
was
second.
go,
Sergey,
go.
Sergey. No, no, Dr. Responsible. We're doing a podcast here, bro. I think Skull tried to jump in real fast and you just over talked him, I believe. If that was, I heard another voice.
yeah, that was Skull trying to jump in.
Skull,
Skull, go
Skull.
ahead,
Yeah,
bro.
Skull's one of our main guys. Go ahead. So Cindy, if you want to finish what you're doing, saying, and then Skull.
No, I want to hear what he was going to say back.
Yeah, Skull.
So I just want to say that polling people on both sides of the aisle, both Democrats and Republicans, you look at Cato, which is more conservative, you look at Pew Research, which is more liberal, they all agree that America has become dramatically more polarized, starting in the early 2000s, but it actually even accelerated in movements into the mid 2010s. And so Americans are now farther apart. And yes, historically, we have disagreed on things, right? But one of the things that characterized earlier political eras of American disagreement is we might agree on a concept, right? Like Grant said 2 nights ago, he said, "Hey, $5 million visas," which we scooped the news. We debate the news broke that story before anyone in the press said it. Thank you,
Mhm.
Grant. And you said, "Would you agree?" And I said, "Heck yeah, I'd agree. Like I want people that are investors, that are business people coming here." I still have that, and maybe we disagree on the method, right? But we agree on the endpoint. And now it feels like we're disagreeing on both the endpoint and the method on some of these issues. And I feel like that makes us more divided as a nation. Where you might say, "Hey, we both want to get to this place, but we disagree how to get there." That's a completely different disagreement than saying we want to go different directions. And that's where I think we are now as a nation.
This is Cabs. I want to add to that as well. I think also what is fueling the division is we talked about the internet. And so when you go and see something, then the algorithms pick up what you're constantly looking at. So now what happens is that's what keeps repeating back to you. And that gets imprinted in your mind. And after some time, that begins to seem like that's the truth. The second thing I'd like to say is that people don't read as much anymore. So I think when we hear things, we don't hear the full context of the idea or understand the historical way that things evolve. And the person who is actually sharing the information may be an influencer that is, it's sensational. It doesn't have a lot of the truth in it. And so followers just take that as gospel truth and then they run off with something that doesn't even have real facts, that's actually polarizing because it's sort of the mega voices, unfortunately, tend to be what's more polarizing and not unifying. It's sort of the crazier something is, the more people are going to look at it, and people who are maybe on the spaces the different social media spaces have to get ramp up the craziness because that's what draws the people. But what ends up happening is over time, innocent people just coming there to learn get down a negative path, and we get more polarized and more separated. Nobody knows the truth anymore.
You know
I
what I want
like
to say
that,
is,
Jonathan. I agree with that. I like
yeah,
that. That's
yeah,
the
I like it
truth.
too, Cindy. But
But
I'm
there
gonna,
are people out there, Jonathan, that literally have common sense and just don't read headlines either.
Cindy. Let
What
me just say
happened
this:
to just common sense?
common sense
They're
isn't
not
so
the ones with
common.
the mega voices. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Jonathan.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Common sense isn't so common anymore, as
We
they
know
just
that.
say. But let me just say this right, Cindy. I got to wake it up. I'm sorry.
Wake it up.
Okay, the right, the people on the right have gotten emboldened and crazy, and I mean that respectfully. Let me just say this: we started off with the Tea Party. Okay, that was a
I
really
agree with that, Jonathan.
Thank
By the
you.
way,
okay.
That happened in
One,
Boston. Thank you very
one,
much. Educate
no,
me on
no,
my
no, Cindy,
Boston
no, no,
history.
no,
Thank
no.
you.
No, I'm not talking about Boston, the Boston Tea Party, Cindy. I'm not taking it back there. Okay, we're not
Oh,
This
trying
one
to
okay. I didn't
take
know
happened
it.
in
where we're
We're not
going.
Manhattan.
trying to. I'm not taking it back to 77, 1775. I'm not trying to do that.
Okay,
I'm
good.
trying. Okay, what I'm saying is that the Tea Party taxed enough already. Okay, and it was huge. It was crazy. Okay, and then after the Tea Party, we got MAGA. Okay, and so right now, where they
no, no. After the Tea Party, you got COVID.
no, no, we got MAGA.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
you didn't. You
no,
didn't have
no,
MAGA. MAGA
no,
was
we got
not around in Donald Trump's first term.
MAGA was around in Donald Trump's first term. Okay, it was Grant.
Make
Make America
America
great
great
again.
again. Make
Yes,
America as a slogan was around.
no,
MAGA was not yet a movement.
MAGA was there. We started
Not
calling them
true.
MAGA heads. Right? Yeah,
I hate to disagree with the high priest, but MAGA was
uh,
around at that point, Grant.
yeah. So
Dude,
anyway,
All
MAGA
respect.
was not a movement yet.
yeah, it was Grant.
Was.
Yes, it was Grant.
There were rallies, bro, but
Uh,
there was not dark MAGA yet.
Dude, Grant.
Dark market, and then merged. Elon came over, but like I said, and started saying that. Yeah, it was Grant. It was a bunch of crazy white folks around, 100% at those rallies. Okay, doing all that
Oh,
shit.
I know. It's always the crazy white folks, isn't it?
Don't tell me there was no
Marty, you
MAGA.
must have turned white. Marty, you white now?
Yo, you see?
Yo,
I'm
Marty, wasn't it
I'm one of
MAGA?
the
Yes or no, MAGA?
Marty
Marty,
the
was it?
MAGA. No,
marshmallow.
MAGA has existed since Trump came around. But let's not say it was. Let's
Yeah,
not act
I
like
don't.
it's only white. But let's not act like it's only white folks who support Trump, though. Come
I'm
on
not saying
now.
that.
I
I'm
will
not saying
vote
that.
for
Majority.
Donald
Not
Trump.
now
Majority. We know
because
Yes,
who
you guys
shall.
majority,
saved the
yes,
country.
majority,
Okay.
yes. But yeah, but no, MAGA
Louis,
has been.
Just the
But Grant, MAGA has existed since Trump. I mean, the slogan has existed
I
since.
understand the slogan was around, bro, but it wasn't.
the movement was there
I
It,
mean, yeah,
too.
it's
it
gotten bigger through the years.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
gotten
but
heavier, obviously through time has gotten. But I mean, hey, time has passed. It's gotten bigger. But at the same, it's hey, the
guys,
movement.
COVID, the canceling of voices, taking people down. COVID was like napalm on the movement, and people
COVID,
still have
What?
not forgotten.
COVID happened under Trump. Don't you remember the bleach?
Nah, bruh. COVID, the response to COVID was the problem.
The response to COVID
The
was
shutting down
Trump.
of America. This was the first time in history where they tried to shut us down when you had social media at scale.
Operation Warp
Correct.
Speed was
Imagine
Donald
if
Trump.
social media was around when John Kennedy was assassinated. It wouldn't have been 75 years later that everybody was, people wouldn't have got over it, bro. This
And
country wouldn't
Marilyn
have,
Monroe, can you imagine the scandal?
oh. Or
Grant's
when Martin
100%
Luther King was
correct.
assassinated, had you had social media, dude, it would, it
It was the
would,
reaction, not COVID itself, but the reaction to COVID. And you guys have such low memory of history. 8 years ago, you guys were on top, and you were saying, "Oh my God, to reach down to them. It's our
What?
turn. We're in charge now." And now,
No,
just
no one
after
said that.
one
No,
month,
actually,
Trump was president
one
8 years
month of
ago.
Trump being
8 years
in
ago,
office, and you
Trump was
guys are
president. That's
upset.
3 years.
1 month.
This guy called us low memory, and Biden was only in office for 4 years, and before that, Trump was in office.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm not talking
So
about
Whose
Biden.
man's
This
is
is
this,
not about
yo? Like, what's
Biden.
up with
That
this?
that's your
yeah,
man's actually.
we got some
MAGA
clowns
was a
in.
Reagan concept, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
so
yeah,
barely true, but
100%. It's
it
been
is.
used. Obama used "Make America Great Again."
no, you didn't. Okay, come on.
Yeah, stop
Jonathan,
lying.
All right. So anyway, guys, real quick, guys. Hey, first and foremost, thank you guys. If you guys are here, up top we have the podcast. If you guys are here, hit that link. Okay, join. I guess follow the podcast. All right, download. I don't know, 10, 15 episodes if you will. But if you're listening to us, matter of fact, Grant, you want to do this thing or what, man? Because I was gonna jump right into it, but because we got the people out there in iTunes, Apple,
But
Spotify.
bro, you gotta get clear on what you want people to do. Okay, like it's so
Grant,
bad
I'm
that
very clear. Grant, I'm very clear on what I want them to do. I just turned to you. So this.
yeah. So guys, you go up there to Debate the News podcast. If you're in the room listening right now, and you click on it, and you download the podcast. And so tomorrow, if you want to listen to more ridiculous Rochelle, you can go and ruin. Now, those of you that are not listening, you're listening to the podcast after the fact. You should come be part of the Chatter app and be part of the audience. Make sure you say hello to me. This is where I come every night. Come hang out with me. I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. I got some other projects I'm working on, but for a few more nights, I'm going to be sharing, my view of the world that Jonathan never agrees with. But he's and he's got a bunch of boosters, and he might be getting a trans surgery for what I know. Like, he should be able to do all that stuff. Just he should. I just don't want to pay for it myself. So, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here tonight. We're talking politics dividing us, and I hopefully that little segue brought us together.
Amen. Don't worry, Grant. He's Canadian. You're fine. We don't have to pay for anything.
Who's Canadian?
Nothing can bring us together.
She's
Nothing can
deporting
bring us
you
together.
already.
The
Let's
God,
go,
you
the
out of your
guy.
Yes,
mind.
we're gonna grant
Go
outro.
to God. Let's go.
I said there's nothing that could bring us together. These MAGA people are lunatics, right? They willing to throw away their own grandmothers. They willing to throw away their own wives and mothers and daughters' rights. They don't care about nothing but themselves, right? Anybody that can do that, I just don't trust. I don't think there's no reconciliation, right? They're going to sit there and say that Elon Musk did not give a Nazi salute while we sit there and watched him do it. He was just waving at the crowd. These people, they just don't care about nothing or nobody. And I don't think there could be, and then this divide is going to just be.
You went out there, the guy. You went out there.
Yeah, I bet you the God also believes
One
that
second, guys. I want to make sure the guy you went
you
out.
lost
That
him,
was
bro. Like,
not a Nazi salute.
No, no. One
Stop.
it
second,
was,
guys. One second.
but
I just
but
want to.
yeah, hey, you'll handle him when you get to handle him. It's not a good show experience.
No, go ahead. I
So
just wanted to make sure no
let
one's
let it
off.
be
Right.
part of the experience. Let it be part of the experience,
Let's
bro.
go.
The God probably thinks that Elon Musk walked off a stage and left his 4-year-old son up on the stage. If you guys have seen that video floating around,
Right. And it's that behavior right there that's dividing us to begin with. That's a complete
exactly,
Shut up, Caleb.
generalization.
Shut up.
exactly, Khalid.
Thanks, Grant.
You're the man, brother. I appreciate your common sense.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, but see, the left could get the smoke too, because they really don't care either,
You're right,
right?
the
They
God.
really don't care either, right? They really want to sit here and say that it's okay for children to mutilate their genitals, right? They want
You're
to sit
right, the
here and
God.
tell us that we gotta call a clear man a woman, right? They want to sit
You're
here
right.
and say that everything is peaches and cream, and meanwhile we know it's not peaches and cream. So I mean, either side is just basically incorrigible at this point. That's why I've never been either party. I've never been either party. I've always been registered independent, and I'm just sitting looking at both sides, and I'm like, how could this possibly come together at this point?
It's
Well,
that
because
projected attitude right there.
Yep. One second, guys. Listen to me. This is not a public enemy concert. I don't need Flavor Flav jumping in every time someone makes a comment. All right. So we know how to do this. All right. If that happens, main mods yeah, take care of it, please.
bro,
All
the
right.
main
So
mods never do anything, bro.
yeah,
Let's
Why
keep
you
it
got
real.
people on stage if they can't
The,
so
talk?
so
the
anyway, so
fact that
anyway,
he engaged,
anyway, with that being said, folks, with that being said, we're gonna keep this thing moving. No, the guy, what I will say is, neither side's perfect, okay? But I think with a lot of things that you described, no one's telling anyone to do that to the kids. No one's. What people are saying is, hey, they're going to understand and not judge you,
your
okay?
main mod did something. They threw me down.
Okay. So
Yeah, that threw
anyway,
me down too.
so anyway, now that wasn't the Flavor Flav I was talking about, though, guys. That
Yeah,
was a
that's
Flavor
what I mean.
Flav.
Your main mods never do anything smart.
So anyway, what I would say is this right here, guys. What I what I want here is Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, huh?
I'm
Oh,
listening.
JB, let's
I'll try
rock.
to talk and Greg just like go.
Bro.
But anyway,
No, I'm not
anyway.
interrupting you, dude.
No, you're not interrupting me, not at all. We're just laughing because of the things you said. But what I'm saying is, getting back to it, yeah, the left is saying, "Hey, live and let live." That's what they're saying. You guys have a problem with that and say, "No, no, no, no. I
No,
don't want
no,
people."
yeah, but they're not saying live and let live. They're saying live and let live, and you need to pay for it.
No.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I want to, and they want me to pay for it. I don't want to pay for the weird shit.
Yeah, but once again, MAGA has been very
I don't want to
violent.
pay for the wars, by the way. I don't want to
Okay.
pay for all the riot the
Yeah.
GOP's been involved in for years either.
Grant,
If it was up to me, we wouldn't have sent 25 Ukraine, much less
Grant,
250
look
billion.
no further. Look no further than January 6th to see where the political violence is coming from.
Yeah, that was a setup, bro.
I said,
What are you
Oh
talking
my
so it
about?
was set
God.
up for all those thousands of people.
And
All
here
those
comes
people,
the vision, ladies and gentlemen.
all those people have either been released or are in the process of being released.
Well, they're all convicted, though, Grant. They were
No,
convicted.
they will have their records completely expunged, and you cannot call them
Hey,
criminals.
Grant. Hey, I got one question. So
Let's go headline.
I'm gonna ask you one question. Look,
Where you from, headline?
y'all really think
Headline. Where you from,
that
man?
I'm from Chicago?
Oh,
You
I
know what I'm
love that
saying?
town,
I
man.
got
What
a
a great
question.
town.
Look, y'all really think that Putin asked the president for permission to invade Ukraine? Yes
Oh,
or no?
100%.
Y'all
100%. Run
really
a
think
poll.
that?
Run a poll.
Okay, so do you not think that headline?
President Trump, though.
Hold on one second, Sir Jude. Headline, are you still there?
Bro, are y'all serious right
No,
now?
no,
You
headline,
really
headline,
Chase,
think that
it's a
Putin asked
simple, it's a
somebody to
simple
invade
answer.
one second,
It's
Ukraine,
one
so
bro?
second,
simple, Marty. Chase
You
the
really think he
money.
asked the
Chase the money.
president?
Chase the money and you'll figure it out.
okay.
Man,
Basking
ain't no
headline.
figure it out. You really think that he asked the president
Dude,
to invade Ukraine, bro?
I'm asking you. You
Yeah,
clearly
Marty,
don't
Marty, you
believe.
asked Grant that. Let's let it because Grant would have jumped in.
100%.
Yeah, good, good.
Oh
I
yeah,
want. Yeah, we would have been
100%.
done.
What makes you think
He
that?
asked for
What makes
permission
you
to go
think
to the
that?
border, and he was given permission to cross the border.
Yeah, listen,
Okay.
Grant.
So he was given permission. That means that he was given access, right?
Oh boy.
Right?
Hey, headline. Come on, bring this on home.
He was given
Headline, bring this
permission
home.
to do what he was doing. Y'all asking why did he do what he doing and who was connected to it? That's
What
y'all
part of
question.
Chicago you live? What part of Chicago you live in?
South side,
Good. Let's say you
Emmett
run
Till
the south
Road.
side. Let's say you run the south side, and let's say I run the suburbs, doing whatever we do.
Okay,
Okay, and this is a carved up territory, and it has been for years.
right.
And I want to do something in part of the neighborhood that you control. You don't think I'm
Okay,
calling you, man?
Great point, Grant. Great. That's street talk, but great point.
okay.
No, that's not a great point.
And
That's not.
and
It
and and, now,
is.
and y'all and y'all
That's
saying that all of
It
that, and
is.
y'all and we're
that's
saying that all of that happened. All the discussions happened, right? And I
100%.
got and say I'm Chicago, you the suburbs. You got permission to invade me, right?
oh yeah, yeah.
Well, let's
That
say
guy.
let's
Yeah, this is
Did you get permission to invade me?
well.
Invade me.
what
No,
headline.
no,
Yes
What's
or
the point?
no? It's a yes or no
no, no.
This
question,
sounded
bro.
real
Headline.
diddy
Now
right
Headline.
now.
hold
What's
on.
Let's
the
move on
Headline's
from
not
this.
what's the
Grant.
point
Grant.
here?
Grant.
What's
Grant.
the point
Stop,
here?
because
Pause.
headline's not understanding your point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's the point here?
No,
Headline.
I
He
understand your
I'm
called
point.
asking
first.
you a
But you
question.
know
Did
what?
you get
No.
permission
no.
to invade me?
Yeah,
If
look, if
I
there was a
wanted,
third party, me and you don't own all of Chicago. You own a little turf, and I own a little turf. But there's somebody that owns the whole turf. They're the master of Illinois.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
No,
and I'm going
bro.
to have to get permission from that guy to. Let's say we work for both these dudes. Me and you work
Did
for
you
this.
did you get permission or not? Yes or no?
I would have to get permission, otherwise I wouldn't
Did
do it.
you? The
He said
question is,
yes.
did you, bro?
Headline. He said
Yes or
yes. Let's
no?
move on. What is the point you're trying to make here, sir?
Did he get permission?
Joe
Yes, he
Biden
said
got
yes. He said
permission.
yes. He said yes.
I
Now,
Okay,
said yes
bam.
17
Listen to
times.
me. Okay, so you got permission to do what you did. Now, the question is, why did you do it? Did you want to take over my territory? Or was my territory
Headline.
already yours all along?
Headline. It's always about money, isn't it?
Listen. My territory and your territory. You
Right.
got permission to come get my territory, right? Boom. Now, was my territory always my territory? Or do you feel like that territory is yours and it's been yours and you coming to get it back? I'm gonna ask that one more time.
No, no, you're
My
not. No, you're not.
We
territory,
No,
got it. We
no,
got
you're
it.
not.
my
You're
Please
not.
don't.
territory,
Your mic down
my
is
Headline, we
loud.
got it. We
territory,
got
your
it.
territory, bro.
Okay, Grant. Guess what? Wow. Headline. Thank you for that that insightful contribution, man. Oh man, Grant has his Wi-Fi face on, so he probably can't hear you right now. Man, oh man, I love it when we get such insightful contributions and everything else. We're gonna keep this thing moving, folks. Let's jump right back to it. Because we got several people. Chris, you got to get down. Yeah, we can only have five at a time. So I'm gonna drop you there kindly. There you go. All
And
right,
Jonathan, Bobby
four at a
joined us
time.
with a hand up. I think he wanted to jump in.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Steph. Thank you,
Thank you,
Stephanie.
Steph.
My bad. Was I on the stage? My phone was in my pocket. My fault. I just got back from the stove. That's my bad.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? I wanted to wait my turn since everybody had something to add. I just wanted to jump back to something that you guys were talking about. You were talking about this division, to bring it back, our politics dividing us. I think the way we all approach these conversations is part of what's dividing us. We don't often come into these conversations trying to find truth together. We come into these conversations trying to prove our point. As I'm listening to the conversation for the past 45 minutes, most of the people who come off mute are trying to make a point and then show almost zero openness to exploring any of the other ideas that are brought up by other people. It's always you're ready with your bullet points to throw out and you have them all lined up ready to go. It's the same talking points over and over. Somebody brought up this idea of the algorithms constantly feeding us our own ideas inside of our bubble, creating echo chambers for us. That's part of the reason we feel this way. Everyone here is so sure that they've got it right and figured out that everybody else is crazy. MAGA's crazy, even though most of the opinions that MAGA people hold today are opinions that were held by Barack Obama almost 20 years ago when he was running for president and while he was president. A lot of this border stuff, national security, a lot of Democrats and the media held these positions, including on election integrity issues. Now, I'm not picking one side, I'm just making a point. The point is, where's the openness to try to explore together? Are we all here to figure out what the truth is so we can unite? Or is everybody here to prove their point? Now, I understand uniting to try to find truth together does not make for a great debate, but there's plenty of room for debate, even if we're actually trying to go down some rabbit holes with each other. We pause and say, now, wait a second, that other guy has an opinion for a reason. He's trying to make a point. Let me hear him out. Go ahead. Develop your point. Let's all hear it together. And if it ends up being crazy, then it's crazy. But if it ends up being a great point, that's a point none of us would have ever heard had we not opened our minds to saying, let me just see where this crazy point is going. Let Grant run with his quote unquote crazy ideas and just hear where they're going. There must be a reason he thinks some of those crazy ideas. Let Jonathan make his point, even if someone like me who did vote for Trump, but is a registered independent for a long time, even if I think Jonathan's wrong, I want to hear what he has to say because I'm like, wait, how the hell did Jonathan end up at those conclusions that I think are crazy? Nobody, I don't want to say nobody, that's not fair. I take that back, retracted. Most people enter into conversations trying to be right. But what I'm saying is maybe we need to go into the conversations trying to find the truth. And in doing
It's
so, you have to assume you might be wrong about something and you won't know until you listen. There's a lot of talking, not a lot of listening. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not even saying I'm always perfect. I'm just saying to the point that we're being divided, we're doing it ourselves because we're staying in our bubble. We think our bubble is right. We're throwing our bubbles at each other, bouncing them off each other, and then running away in the opposite direction, going, ha, I made my points. But in reality, there's truth somewhere. Can't we try to find it together? And that does
Bobby.
require once in a
That
while
would
just
have to
pausing and
mean
going, let me hear it. Let me hear what
Bobby.
people have to say. Go
That
ahead.
would mean
Over to you,
Bobby.
Cindy.
That would have to mean people were more objective. You know the word objective. That's the problem. Earlier this evening, I said something, then Storm said something, and I sat on it. Right? Nobody sits on anything for a minute because no one wants to be objective. It seems like everybody's either to the right or to the left. And guess what? There's no middle anymore. Well, there's a lot of people that are down the middle still. But that's
Not
people
MAGA
that,
folk. MAGA folk ain't down the middle.
but you're
I
not being
don't.
objective either. You're a mirror image of what you're talking about right now.
So
You
Cindy,
guys label
I sat on
us.
what Bobby just said, and as I sat on what Bobby just said, I noticed that he didn't bring up any Republican, but he brought up President Obama. So there wasn't an unbiased comparison.
He
He
just
only mentioned one person from one
see,
party in
of
his
course, Michelle.
commentary, and so it negates everything that he said. And if you want to mention both parties, then boom, what you're
Yeah.
saying makes sense.
Yeah, and
So yeah.
he also said, listen to Grant, hear Grant out, and then he like, because Grant crazy, but Jonathan may be wrong.
He used both of you
I
guys.
understand I understand that. But here's the thing, and I understand the spirit of what he's saying. I do, I get it. Marty, your camera's like dark, bro. I don't know if you're black. Okay, there it is. I like, damn, brother.
Oh yeah, no, I
like,
was
I
yeah.
was
I
like,
was gonna say,
I was
listen,
like,
Artie,
damn, brother. Like,
I
No,
told
I
Michelle
was. Oh,
on
I
the
thought
back channel,
I'm
that's
I
so
more
said,
you
weird.
responsible.
so,
Marty, your picture is fading like Marty from Back to the Future. You guys
oh
remember
my
that movie?
gosh. But anyway, what I want to say is this right here. We enter debates not we do may enter the debate with talking points, but we enter with an opinion. That's how you have a productive debate. Okay, and then you debate those opinions. Storm and our facts, the opinions and facts. Skull, go ahead. You're up.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that, like, there's two different types of I guess meetings of the mind, right? One is what are you going to do with your family members, your close friends, right? How do you have those conversations? And that's very different. And if you find that you're politically rivalrous with these people that are actually in your day to day lives, if you keep hitting them, it doesn't matter if you're left or right. If you keep hitting them on those points, there's a lot of studies to suggest they get actually more entrenched. So, like, if they were a little right, they'll go farther right, and if they were a little left, they'll go farther left. And the psychological idea is called consistency principle. It's why we'll argue a point even when we've been proven wrong. We'll keep arguing it, and that's universal across every, not just left or right. That's universal across world cultures. It's been studied. I think you guys might remember many years back, one of the candidates was called a flip flopper because he changed his opinion on one of the political issues. I forget what that was. Was that Kane or somebody? They kept calling him a flip flopper, and that
Carrie.
ended his presidential run. Uh, but that is very different from a debate, right? And when I come to a debate, I am trying to make my points, and I am talking to the audience, right? And I am talking with Grant and with Storm and with the other people on the right, but they're also talking to the audience as well, I think. So when you see this friction between us, just know that we're each trying to just make our side's points. How you act towards people in your daily life, hopefully that's with more compassion and understanding. uh, but on here, I'm just going to say that if the other side was logical, then they would already have agreed with our points, and I think both sides would say that. And I land.
One day, Scald, you'll agree with us. We'll have you on our side.
You're going to
Okay.
convert him?
Jonathan,
Yes, go ahead, LS.
I want to add something maybe for the news that wasn't covered. And Skull, feel free to chime in as you always do. And by the way, we connected already.
You got a horrible
Um,
microphone, Skull. I mean, you have a horrible microphone, LS. Go ahead. Go ahead. Try it again, LS.
Grant's breathing.
Yeah, Grant's for you. All right, LS going twice. All right, guys, mods, handle that. Handle that. Okay, handle that.
Hey,
That's
I just
Grant
want to have
fucking
to say
around.
what Skull said real quick as
Go
Grant
ahead.
is being trolled. Skull, you do bring up great points, and I think a lot of times when we're so entrenched in our truth, we don't care what anybody else says. So, I just you almost throw out your logic because we feel like we're logical on our side. You feel like you're logical on on your side. So where do you find the middle? Because frankly, I mean, you can see the same thing, and we could think the sky is two different colors depending on what time of day you look at it.
Okay.
How do you find the middle?
That
You
was
know
some
what you
profound
do? You
shit you
don't
just
go
said.
out for dinner like I did last night with Ray, sitting next to people from Indiana that were really nice to us until they found out we were from Boston. And then they automatically assumed and like cut the conversation. Oh, you guys are from Massachusetts? It was like we had a leprosy or something that grew on us real fast. It was so crazy. But it happened. And then Ray said something and then the conversation turned again and it went down a better place, right? But that's how they judged us right away when they heard we were from Massachusetts.
So
And what they said was, "Oh, so you're a bunch of you both are a bunch of libtards like everybody else in Massachusetts." I went, "Huh? No, I'm fighting a lighting pollution right now on one of my job sites. No, I don't think so." But it can get hairy out there at times, and you don't know who you're sitting next to. And of course, Massachusetts went all blue, like Oklahoma went all red. So it's an automatic assumption, right? Blue state. Oh my God, you're a cuckoo bird. In
Well,
their
Cindy, we
opinion,
know Rochelle is always wrong. So, I mean, when is she actually going to realize what truth actually
Scott
is?
Storm, you're never
I
correct. I
wish
mean,
Rochelle was
you
sitting
have a
there when
big
this
muscle
when this
head.
happened last night. She would have been. You think Angry Bird would have got? Oh Jesus! If the Angry Bird was sitting where I was sitting, she would have been flipping out. But you can't. You can't do that in a restaurant.
Right, right. And Storm benches 315 for
Cindy, I
reps,
have
so it makes
decor,
him
whether you
automatically
believe it or not.
correct.
Yeah, yeah,
Not the
yeah,
way
yeah.
we
One
got
second.
treated.
Hey, one second. Please don't come off mic with those kind of comments right now. Not in the middle of this podcast. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, man, oh man, that's crazy. Hey, so anyway, Cindy. Yeah, no. People and so that's a perfect example of us being divided. All
There
right.
you go, John. And you know where I was last night, right? So just put that
Yes.
aside, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we're all having fun. And the minute we said mass, the fun went to like backs turned. You know what I mean? The seats
What
moved.
did they say, Cindy? What did they say?
Oh, so you two are libtards. I went, that's what I said. Yeah, I'm fighting a lighting pollution right now. They have to have a massive Zoom meeting Thursday night because we can't have these lights on a house. Yeah, yep, I'm a libtard. So they got the point, but it was not a good, like, it was so uncomfortable for literally like 5 minutes. Ray and I going, what do we say? What do we do? After a remark is said like that, right? You have to sit back on it for a second.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick, Skull.
But what if we were fully blown Democrat, typical blue Massachusetts? Where are we going from that conversation? Is
Well,
Ray going to get animated? Is he going to get animated?
but Cindy, you got to realize something. You're making an argument that we've been making that the people on the right are aggressive, rude, and trash.
No, because
Yeah,
that
because they're calling you libtard. If they called you libtards,
but they were
okay,
right. They were
the,
right.
they were right. Oh, were they right? Or
They were, yeah, they were actually
they
right.
weren't
And this
right
is
because you're not liberal.
but
They weren't
I'm
right,
not.
Cindy.
You're right,
Okay,
I'm not.
exactly. But no, but Cindy, that's what I'm saying. They made a judgment. Okay, they made a judgment call, and they were incorrect. So you can't say they were right. I mean, even right now, you're gaslighting. When you say, "Oh, they're right," no, they weren't right. They were wrong because you weren't. You're not liberal. All right, and
Okay,
so
but the
they guessed
assumption was
incorrectly.
there.
Yeah,
But it's
exactly. They
also
guessed.
gone the other way too.
But Cindy, they guessed
Why?
incorrectly.
Okay, so
Cindy,
why did Democrats all over social media call Republicans stupid? We hear that all the time. Go on any of
because you
my
are. I
Well,
mean,
because
Cindy,
we
you're the
are.
one that said
We're
that we're
stupid.
smarter.
I'm not gonna
Okay,
say because you are because
okay.
because because
So the
you
Dems always call
you guys are
Republicans
gullible.
stupid.
I'm not gonna say
Oh,
stupid. You guys are gullible.
oh, we're gullible. Okay.
John, let me ask Cindy a question.
We're gullible.
Cindy, have
Imagine
you stated?
I lasted 37 years in construction being gullible.
Hey, did you really just call the Democrats? I mean,
Cindy, have
the
you
right.
stated,
Oh,
Cindy, that Democrats are smarter than Republicans on
No, I
this stage
said no.
before?
What I said is the party in itself has always been a smarter party than the Republicans.
What
But they
That's
party?
flipped
true.
it. Your
What party?
party is definitely a
The
smarter.
Democratic Party?
You know how to run a campaign
The Democratic
better than the
Party?
Republicans. Does it? Don't take that what I'm
What
saying.
party?
Don't mince the words here. You
What
run a better
party?
campaign,
Wait, Michelle, one
but
second,
you
Michelle.
lost this time. You
Okay,
run a better campaign, but
she
you
said the
lost this time.
Democrats are. Yeah, we can't be doing that over and over again. Absolutely, guys. Skull, you jumped on. What's going on, Skull? Jump in there.
I mean, what do you want me to comment on, Jonathan? I mean, I'm just listening to
Well,
Cindy's points here. I mean, she, like you already said, she really sort of drove home the intolerance on the right. You know, these people called her out thinking that she was a liberal. You know, so that's the example, right? I'm just wondering, you know, does anybody have examples of the left calling out people they think are on the right? I mean,
Yes, I've seen that happen too. I've seen
outside of
that
this
happen
chat,
too.
you know.
Happens every night on here. What are you talking about?
Look at
But
January 6th. Look at January 6th. All you have to do is look no further than January 6th. There's never been a left. There's never been Democrats getting together as Democrats, okay? Because those were Republicans that got together and went and carried out such an offense, okay? There's never been a bunch of Democrats getting together, okay, protesting our democracy, okay? And so that has never happened, ever, ever. Okay, they hurt police officers. You know, they broke into the Capitol.
They
You
opened
know,
up the door and
no,
said,
no,
"Come
no, they
on
broke
in."
in. What
That's
they broke
bullshit.
windows, Cindy. They they
Of
they
course
broke
they
in before
did.
they.
Then it
Cindy, of
got
course
like,
they did. Cindy,
yeah,
when you're
then
outnumbered,
it
Cindy, they were
absolutely got out of
outnumbered.
control.
Cindy, they were outnumbered. A barricades up. They got people. Got the woman got shot. You know, got shot trying to freaking go to the police at the police told her to get back. Okay, and she's killed.
But we've talked
Ashley
about this.
Babbitt.
I don't
Ashley
think
Babbitt.
everybody should have been pardoned. I think every
No, she was a
individual case
thug.
should
She
be looked
certainly
at.
shouldn't have been pardoned.
She's the one who died, Cindy. She's the one who got shot.
Yeah, she's
Right,
a
I
thug
know
that got
that.
shot. She's a thug that got shot and killed.
So she was a thug.
Yeah, she was 100%.
Okay.
Can I just say that nothing ever happens until it happens the first time? The same way that our country abolished slavery, it never happened before until it happened. Things have to happen the first time for it to happen for change. I ain't saying that January 6th was right. I'm just saying that, I don't know, maybe we'll see in 100 years. Well, we won't see, but
Okay.
in 100 years, somebody
I
gonna
will.
see.
I'm going to freeze my body so I can come back.
Cindy,
All
I got
right,
a
so
question.
one of
Disney.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
so
mean,
one of
yeah,
the points.
that's the
Cindy, I
first
got Cindy.
time.
What's on? Go, Cindy. I got a question for you because you asked me a question. You asked your last question to me was she was a thug. My question to you is this, right, Cindy? If someone showed up to Stumple Development, okay, and you told them not to come in, and they some of them were armed, and they broke through the door, and they came through the door, and you had your gun, would you consider that person a thug, and would you shoot that person? Yes or no?
1,000%. My life's in danger.
Okay, so when I refer to Ashley Babbitt as a thug, because she was breaking the law, okay, and the police they gave her multiple orders not to come through the barricade. They put it up, and she went over anyway, which was the first, that was the first stream of people coming over. Had they not neutralized that threat, and had everyone else see that threat neutralized, everyone else was coming over, and they would have lost containment of that area. That was the last containment prior to getting to the people in Congress.
I know, but you throw the word thug around a little too easily. Like, was she a thug? Like,
She
no,
did-
she
she def
wasn't.
Cindy, she was a
Okay.
thug. Cindy,
Do you know
Cindy,
what the word
Cindy,
thug really? Why don't you look
Cindy,
up the
Cindy,
word what a
Cindy,
thug is?
Cindy, Cindy. If
Look
I
up
was
the
a
meaning
priest,
of the word thug.
Cindy, if I was a priest, Cindy, and I went out there and I shot and killed someone, I'm a murderer.
Okay, but you're not.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a murderer. Yeah, if I
Okay,
went out
let's
there
use
and
the
just
right
shot and killed
language
someone,
because you just can't call her a thug because it fits your narrative.
if it's my
She.
no, it doesn't. Okay, Cindy, someone
What
that's
is the
breaking into
meaning
a
Jonathan,
of the
building.
word
Jonathan,
thug?
Jonathan, Jonathan.
Good,
Let
Luis.
me real quick. This is Louis' sister. Yeah, a thug, a violent, aggressive person, especially one who is a criminal. Hello, does that
Okay.
sound like Ashley Babbitt? Yes, it does.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, so she's a thug.
Well, it does
Point
also
proven.
say in here the word has have different meanings over
Thank you,
time and in
Daphne.
different communities, just to be fair across the board.
No, over community. When you start talking about over different communities, that brings
Hey,
up different narrative. When you say
What,
that, let's not
what do
go
you
there.
mean by that?
It was the Google machine. All I did was
Okay,
yeah, she
you
stepped in it.
yeah,
Yeah,
She
hey,
because
stepped
hey,
in
it's
it.
I did
Louis,
Italian
verbatim.
one
communities,
mic,
Irish
one
communities.
mic, Sergey,
Well,
one
sorry, but
mic.
the Italian
No,
community did have
Louis, can
thugs,
you jump back in since Daphne
Absolutely.
introduced that?
and
When she
I
said over different
read
communities, Louis,
verbatim.
what was she saying, Louis? What was she when over different communities? How is it used over different communities, Louis?
Great question, Jonathan.
I can answer that question.
I
Go
bet you
ahead.
can.
I
Go
bet you
ahead.
have you
You
go
know
and
I
have Louis
can.
go second. Go ahead. You go
Yeah,
first.
go ahead.
Louis go second. Go ahead.
What she's saying, what she's reading is in certain
Reading.
communities, you had the Italian mafia, you had the Irish mafia. that was considered thugs back in the day, okay?
Okay.
All right. And then you've got the streets of the hood, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call
Uh-huh.
it. Now you got
Stephanie.
Yo,
another
she
group of
paused
thugs.
on that one.
Hey, listen,
Stephanie.
we're
You
not going
better
to just pick
call
on the
Alexa,
Italians,
Cindy. You
and
better
we're not
call
going to
she
just
her.
pick
she
on the
paused. She
Irish
like,
here.
okay, let me end this. Let me tiptoe into this one. Go
Jesus.
ahead.
Thug's a thug.
But go ahead, Cindy.
A thug is a thug.
Okay, go
But
ahead, Cindy.
usually back in the day, the thug had power, and that's why Grant asked him a question. If you're running the South
But
Side
in the
and
hood,
I'm
a
running
thug
the
is what?
Burbs,
Cindy,
don't come
I'm
onto
gonna give
my
you a pass. I'm
territory.
gonna give you a pass. Go ahead.
No, Grant made a good point of what two thugs
Can
are.
I finish her answer for that? I'm equipped.
Who's that? Go
That's
ahead, Chris.
Chris. I'm
Go ahead,
equipped to finish
Yeah,
her
funny
answer
as
to
go
that.
ahead,
hell.
Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
So what she was like, and this is not to say like that you prejudice or anything like that, Cindy, but more
She's not.
likely
She's
than
not.
not, if you was to see me like when the areas where I be at, and I be in nice areas sometimes too, but because I'm blasted, I got a bunch of tattoos. I'm not a small person, and like if you just was to see me, as I wear like gold and stuff like that, you'll be like, oh, that's a thug.
No. And if
Without
you
even
came, hold on, Chris, now I'm going to reverse it. If you came
no,
into the Italian part of Boston and it's called the North End, you're going to think I'm a thug because I'm hanging down the North End.
Cindy,
I
you
don't know.
are kind of
I'm from the
thuggish.
West Coast. I
I
don't
am
know.
thuggish.
I couldn't
But
tell you.
with that
I'm
being
just
said,
No,
has
he's
nothing
I'm
to do
just
not.
about
saying
Yeah, yeah,
for
color.
but
all
If you
intensive
come into,
purposes of what you
Chris,
were
finish off
saying.
what
So
thug
I'm a
is.
thug because of my
No,
address?
no, no.
Just because
No,
of my
for
address, I'm a
for
thug?
Headline,
all
headline,
intensive
there
headline.
were
Get on.
certain,
for all
listen, guys, come
intensive
on,
purposes.
stop being naive here. We
No,
had
hold on,
certain
real
areas
quick.
of
10
Boston,
more seconds.
Chicago, Philly, many areas like that where the Italians migrated. They were called the mafia, thugs. And then we had the Irish communities. What were they? They had their own mafia. They were called thugs. They were the Irish mafia. Those are the Italian mafia. This is not about
So what
race.
does
This
thugs
is
mean?
about
What does thugs
reality.
mean
For
today?
for all
To me,
intensive
thug
purposes,
stands for
the
the same
word
word it
thug.
stands for. If you can murder somebody and take a life and you're in a gang or you've been a made man or whatever you want to call it, you're a thug. Period.
So for all intensive purposes,
And Chris, you can have all the tattoos in
in
the
the
world. You're
urban
not going to intimidate
communities,
me.
if you look a certain way, if you walk a certain way or dress a certain way, or like me, like I'm tatted up, people generally tend to be like, clutch their purse, he a thug. And then when I speak to them, they change their mind. But their initial thought always is like, oh, he's one of them thugs because,
Well,
you
then you
know,
better go to P-Town, Massachusetts, because P-Town is a very gay area, and all the men have tattoos now. So I
Okay.
might say, oh, that guy's gay.
He's not a thug. He's gay,
it's
Cindy.
There you go. See, I might say that instead of calling you a thug.
Right.
Boy, we can be
you got it,
offensive
Cindy.
all over the board.
I thought that I tried to give you some knowledge into, you know, something, but you just
Chris,
couldn't receive it. But you
Chris, I
got it.
got it. Trust me,
So,
I
so
hear you.
Cindy, we agree that Ashley Babbitt was a thug, correct?
Yeah, I guess if you use the terminology that who gave us the
Luis.
Luis. Okay, thank you,
The
Luis. I'm sorry.
vernacular. Luis, you got any more?
You
You got
gave me
any?
the answer
You got any
from
more
what the
terminology
word
for
thug
thugs,
means.
Luis?
What about the actual history of
Yeah,
thugs,
Luis
which
is a
is
Jewish
One
thug.
second,
coming from
Bobby. One
India?
second,
Luis
Bobby.
is a
One
Yeah.
second,
Luis is
Bobby.
a black Jewish thug.
Okay, Luis, you got any more definitions for thugs?
How is Luis Jewish, by the way?
Oh, so now you're
Ghetto. Where does
questioning
ghetto
that.
come from?
Wait a second. So
Why are we talking again? We're talking about
now
the
we questioning
January
my
6th.
Judaism?
I wonder
Hey,
if he
look,
got a
man,
ghetto.
just get on with it, you
And I'm
Jewish
looking for a
ghetto
fight.
Dominican thug.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna accept that title. I'm a Jewish ghetto Dominican thug. I'm gonna roll with it. Um,
Luis, you got too
now
much of a
I'm
Luis,
joking,
you got way too
Cindy.
much of a
I'm
pretty
joking.
smile. Too much of a pretty smile to be intimidating.
Cindy, I'm joking. Don't worry. I grew up in
Even with
East New
all
York.
your big, what we call those arms? What do you call those arms when they're all built out?
Guns, Cindy, guns.
Guns, thank you. I
No,
should know
if
that word.
Luis was in the mafia, he'd be like the security dude. You know what I mean? Like he's just like overseeing everything, just looking scary ish.
But yeah, go, Louise, go ahead. What you were saying?
Nah, bro. Listen, the definitions are simple, right? A violent, aggressive person, especially one who is a criminal. and somebody in the process of breaking the law
Ooh, ooh,
is a
ooh,
criminal.
ooh. Ooh, you
I'm
said
just,
that's a criminal. What, did she have anything against her as being a criminal prior to that day?
if she's breaking into a federal building, that's a
Hold on.
criminal.
Prior to that, did she ever have a criminal record?
Oh my
Not
gosh.
not that I believe we were made
No, no, no.
aware of.
Well,
No.
no, hold on,
Oh,
hold on, hold
I'm
on.
so
Hold
she
on.
violent and
Wait,
turned,
aggressive, so
she
I'm
turned
hold on,
automatically a
aggressive and
criminal.
hold on.
turned into a thug, but she
No,
Okay,
wasn't
no,
a
okay,
no,
thug.
no.
no, but
Hold
just
on.
for the sake of
I'll
debate,
make it
Cindy, I
I'm
clear.
love you.
No,
violent and
No,
I'm
no, hold on just a
aggressive,
sec.
so
For
I'm
the sake of debate,
automatically.
for the sake of debate, Cindy, we can't do that. I love you, but honestly, like, can you imagine, just seriously, if someone murdered someone and you were like, okay, but prior to today, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really use that as an excuse if they didn't
No, I
if
just
she was.
asked the question. Was she, if we're going to call her a thug, did she have past criminal?
it
Did she have a
actually
record?
Man,
doesn't. It,
Cindy, I
wait,
don't think
hold.
we were made
I'm
aware
just
of it, but
asking a
she's a
question. I'm not
thug,
making a
Cindy.
judgment here.
She
No,
was
so
she was doing
Cindy,
some thug behavior that got her
exactly.
killed.
But
She
I,
may
Thank you,
have been
Marty.
doing thug behavior, but she was
She
a
was. Let
She
me
was
tell you.
trespasser.
No, no, no,
thugging
no.
that
Excuse me.
day.
She
Donald
was
Trump is a thug.
behaving.
Donald
One
Trump
second.
is a
She was
street thug. I don't
behaving
know
in
what y'all
some
talk
thuggish
about.
manners.
Oh,
The
yeah,
thug
That.
Donald
of
Trump with a
thugs.
silver spoon in his mouth was a
Oh
street thug.
boy.
hold on
Ay,
for a
ay,
second.
ay.
Marty.
Let me. One mic on me. One
Marty.
mic on me, really
Hold
quickly.
on. Hold on.
Hold.
One second,
No,
guys. One second. One
Go
second.
ahead.
One mic
Hey,
on
school
Luis.
him, Lewis.
we got to slow down. You see, when we listen, we can't just listen to respond. We have to listen to digest and then speak. It says a violent, aggressive person, comma, especially one who is a criminal. It doesn't say you have to be a criminal to be a thug. It said especially. Okay.
Especially, okay.
Okay. All right. So that means a violent and aggressive person can be classified as a thug, even if it's their first offense.
Okay,
And
guys,
I
we have a
agree to that.
poll. Wait, one
I
second.
agree with that.
Cindy, one
But
second,
don't forget the word
Cindy, one second,
especially.
Cindy, one second. Hey, guys, we got a poll up top. I want you guys to vote on that poll. All right, vote on that poll. And the poll is: was Ashley Babbitt a thug?
I think she was an idiot. That's a better
No,
word.
no.
But
So
I wouldn't call the woman a thug. I'm
I
sorry.
think
Just
if they knew that in 2016 she rammed her SUV into another woman's car multiple times during a road rage episode, she might just be a thug.
did
God
she
damn.
did
Now
she
that changes
now that changes
everything.
Oh
everything.
my
Look,
gosh.
Did
Cindy and
that
I
really
voted
happen?
just
Suddenly
today
the
you're
poll's
told.
going, what?
We had no idea. Tell
Diana,
us
did that
more.
Like,
happen?
wow.
Your vote? Yeah,
oh,
that's a fact. So not only that, so 2016 she was
Okay, so
also involved.
she's got an
wait.
attitude.
What happened in 2016? What happened
In
in 2016?
2016, she was also involved in a notable incident in Maryland where she was charged with reckless endangerment, malicious destruction of property, and several traffic related offenses. So she's a little bit of a thug, Cindy.
Yeah, I give it to you.
Oh, she a
See,
big
that's
girl
why I
thug.
asked the question. Was there any previous history of her doing things there you go. So yes, now I'm going to call her a thug. Well, not a
Cindy,
thug like
Cindy, she could have
not
been
a
your
thug
homie
like
for
you
real.
call a thug, but I would just use not the word
She
thug,
could have
but
been your
okay.
homie, Cindy.
Okay, you sit back, Angry Bird, get out of my movie.
Okay.
So
But
yeah, so
but again, yes, she's obviously had issues. Yeah.
but name a time where the left got together and did something like that. It's never happened. Okay, it's never happened. Well, it's never happened. Period. So, go ahead. You can
Well,
jump in.
there's nobody on either party that likes what happened on January 6th. Let's just
That's
call the truth.
bullshit. People think it was a demonstration and they celebrate it. So don't say that, Cindy. That's not
Well,
true.
that's not healthy-minded people.
That's not true. Hey guys, we only got 33 votes. We got 123 people in here. Only 33 people voted on that poll. Come on, guys. We vote on that poll. We have a poll there. There's a poll right now, guys. Take the time, vote on that poll. Damn. Hell, y'all can't vote on the poll. I know you guys aren't clicking the top
But
up there
how do
and,
you
and, and
arrest
following the
Enrique?
podcast.
What's his
Hold on, Cindy. I know if you guys
right?
can't click on that poll, that you guys aren't clicking on that podcast and following it. God damn.
Is there
Man, y'all need to get it together now. Come on
Right,
now.
but
what's a
how do you
Marina
arrest a
Bobbitt?
guy that wasn't even in the state when this happened?
Hey, wait. The same way I can orchestrate something out of state right now and get pinned for
That's true. But
Yeah.
supposedly
Man, man, man.
don't listen. I don't have the inside
And
information
he's been
on the
arrested since,
Proud
Cindy.
Boys, but he told his guys stand down. That's what they're saying. Stand
Cindy,
down. Go home peacefully.
Cindy, he was arrested last week again.
I heard that.
In
Okay,
Washington,
so
D.C.
yeah, so
So,
so, your heroes that you guys are
Well, he's
championing
not my
for.
hero. Don't go doing that.
He had a boyfriend in there. He had to go get back to.
Enrique was. Let's go. Go ahead, sir. You jumped up here. Yeah. What's going on, my friend?
Oh well, I'm just listening to conversation, right?
Oh wow, we got the whole crew up here. We had the whole main squad up
Why, you
here.
guys all have a problem with 1982?
Wow, we had the whole main squad up here.
Yeah,
Oh wow, Daphne
dude.
Well,
Christine,
let
you
me
got
ask you this
Marty, you
question,
got
Jonathan.
Skull.
Let me ask you this question. Somebody hurts your child, your whatever, somebody you love, mother, father, whatever. Do you believe in street justice, or do you believe in the law should take over?
Let me tell
See,
you
that's
Somebody
why
something.
he's the thug right
murdered
The,
your
there.
murdered your child. What do you do at that point?
the
So,
law.
I mean, are you comparing vigilantism to political violence? Because I feel like that's a
No,
big
I'm just asking a
change.
question. He asked me a question. If somebody came to my office, now I'm asking him the question.
No, Cindy, what I was saying is that officer was justified in shooting Ashley Babbitt. Okay, that's the only thing I'm saying. And what you guys did was you found out the guy.
You're not hearing me agree or disagree with that at
Yeah,
all.
I understand that, but because you're asking that question and I'm gonna tell you what you guys did. You guys found his name and everything else and picture, and you guys put it out there all over X, sort of like a wanted poster.
Who's you
Okay,
guys?
I'm talking about on the right, people on the right.
I'm in the middle, so let's get that straight.
Are you on the right, Cindy?
No, I'm not. I'm not a righty. I'm not a lefty. There are people
Cindy,
that are
you just
in the
told her. You
middle.
just said that guy called you libtard, and you.
No, because actually, I kept my cool for the first time.
All right,
But
73% of the people said that Ashley Babbitt was a thug.
Can we put a
okay,
poll up that wonders if Cindy's on the right?
I am not a
Oh, let's.
righty. I'm not a
Cindy
lefty,
on the right
guys.
in the
No,
middle.
Cindy, you
I
definitely
am
are
about
a.
common sense.
No,
Okay,
Cindy. Mm,
what?
you're a solid combination of both, but you have very strong conservative values. But the thing is, you do lean. There's a lot of things that you'll lean liberal on, but you have very strong conservative values. Yeah, that's just what it is. Nothing wrong with that, but that's just what it
It
is.
still
Yeah,
doesn't
That's
make me a
literally the
Cindy,
righty.
middle.
one mic,
A
guys.
righty is
Cindy,
somebody that believes
Cindy,
completely the right way or left.
one mic, guys. Hey, guys, please do not touch that mute all. I don't know what happened. I just happened to see that people say that they're all muted. So 100%. Anyone down there in the audience who's trying to jump in, go ahead and jump in. Because if you guys are muted, uh, this is your time to jump in. Go ahead.
You didn't answer the question. She asked
All
you a
right.
question. You didn't answer it.
Okay.
Thank you,
Can you?
headlight.
All right. Let's get him out of here. All right.
You did answer
Why?
your
I asked you
question.
a question. You didn't
I
answer it.
asked.
He's right.
I
He
answered it,
did.
Cindy.
He did answer you.
Do you remember what the
I
question
did.
was?
Yeah, you
What?
asked me. What was the question, Cindy? What you asked me was what do I believe in street justice?
No, I
You asked
just
that to
said
Skull.
somebody hurts your child, murders your child for no reason. Just some crazy dude grabs a 5-year-old kid, not a teenager, not a young 6 years old. What do you do?
Oh, he's
Cindy,
dead.
Cindy, if I get a hold of him in the first, I don't know, 72 hours, whatever,
70.
uh, whatever. No, because I'm talking about
Go ahead,
yeah,
tell the truth.
I'm telling the truth.
You'd
I'm
be a
gonna
thug.
yeah, I'm gonna be all thuggish. Okay.
Okay, thank you for your
Now,
honesty.
but if the police get a hold of him as time goes by and I become a
I'm
bit more
still gonna be a
rational,
thug.
okay, I become a bit more rational. Okay,
But y'all acting like all thugs is just criminal though. You doing something.
thank you, shooters. Some people don't understand, man. We're always going to win. We're always going to win. We got the buttons, we have the controls, we have the delete, we have the remove, we got the block, we got all the controls.
So can I
There
speak
you
to
go. You're
Go
Babbitt
acting
ahead,
with
like
Chris. Go
her
ahead,
Trump
Chris.
right
Go ahead,
now.
thuggishness?
Chris. Go
Oh
ahead,
my
Chris.
God,
Let's
Jonathan
get
Trump
that.
has entered the
Let's get
room.
Okay,
Chris.
so the by definition would she be a thug? Yeah, by the Webster's definition, yes. But I don't think she was necessarily a thug. Like, was she a trespasser, an intruder, and got exactly what was coming in the actions that she took January 6th? Yes. Do I think that makes her a thug? No, because I also know that she was like a military veteran. But I didn't know about the road rage shit, so she might have had some kind of problems. There might have been something going on upstairs. But I still don't think that makes her a thug.
Or
I
I
maybe
make
she
just
had
So why
thuggish
is it
what made her a
tendencies.
thug? What would we have to change on her to make her a
Yeah.
thug?
What's
Because
missing?
Shit,
if
her
Marty
whole
did that,
okay. So
there'd been no doubt about it. He's a thug.
Boy, look at here. I'd be
Marty Black.
paraded through the
Okay,
streets as
there's
a
a
But
big
thug.
Marty,
Bullshit.
difference.
Does Marty
there
belong
we
to a
have it.
gang?
There
Does
we
Marty
have it.
belong to a gang?
That
There we
is.
have
That's
it.
a big difference. Look, I
Got
know
So,
the
him.
so,
truth.
so, so, Cindy, you
Got
see that,
him.
Cindy, from another black man, he's saying that if a black man did it, he's a thug.
He
Yes.
said, Cindy, he told me, he said if it would be Marty, he'd be a thug. So why is that,
No.
Cindy? Ask him. So Cindy, I want you to ask
no,
him why is that?
We just
yeah.
have a different terminology
Let's
on
Cindy.
what the word thug means. I'm
Hold on, one mic,
sorry.
guys. One second. You guys mess with the content now. One second. Uh, the floor is yours. Go ahead, Chris. The floor is yours. I need you to explain that. I need you to explain that.
Yeah, no. So generally, uh people from the black community, especially black men, we have a different view of what thugs are. Like, I didn't see a bunch of thugs running into January 6th. I seen a bunch of damn crazy extreme like rights. You know what I mean? I didn't think they were thugs. I just thought it was a bunch of crazy folks.
You can
I,
say
I have to
rednecks. It's
agree
all
with you,
right.
Chris.
Like
I'm
you can
Like,
agreeing
say
with Chris on that
that.
one.
You can
I
say
didn't think they
But
was
that.
thugs.
why? But
Cindy,
I
don't
know
why,
do
some.
it.
Chris?
Cindy,
I
mm-mm.
know thugs.
Yeah, Cindy.
I
Who's
know
that
some
said?
thugs.
There's a woman saying Cindy don't do it. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, speak, ma'am.
Don't do
Who?
what?
Oh, that was me,
Go ahead,
Chad.
chat. Go ahead, chat. Do it.
Cindy, get out the car. That let him speak for his folks. You chime in. Mm-mm. Let
About
him
what?
do it.
No, I just say like, and look,
Chat. You agree with him?
Hell
I
no,
could
that
look.
was the dumbest mess I've ever heard in
That's
my life.
fine. Look,
That was
I
about
am
as dumb as you
completely
can come.
okay with that.
That was problematic. Like
I'm
literally
so
what they
okay with that.
did, they bum rushed. They bum rushed the door, something sacred, a government building, right? And then they ran over the police officers, they pushed women, they vandalized property, they had their feet up on desk of elected officials. They brought guns and nooses, and that's not thuggish
No,
behavior.
I'd classify
But you
that
said
more
His
as terrorism.
because they are white, that is you can be a thug and a terrorist. You don't think Osama bin Laden wasn't a thug? You
What do you
sound
mean, Chad?
foolish and
There's white
crazy.
no,
there's
Cindy,
white
one
thugs
second.
too,
No,
Chad.
Cindy, get out the
I'm
car.
not getting out of the car. There's
No,
Okay,
fucking
Cindy,
well
white
Cindy,
stay
Cindy.
thugs.
in
What are
it
you
then.
talking about?
Stay in it. Go ahead.
Okay, great.
Chris,
There's white
the
Marty,
thugs.
let
brother
her
who
dig
said
herself
that.
in it. No, Marty, no, she want to stay in there. Let her dig herself in
I'm
there
staying
then.
right in it. There's white
Go
thugs.
ahead. Keep going.
Go
I
ahead,
just have to
Marty.
tell
What
Chris.
do you
I just
guys
have to
got the
tell Chris.
title?
Listen, Chris. The same reason you won't acknowledge her as a thug is why it's so easy to is why it's so easy for you to say I'm the thug. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I
So
you the
man,
thug. I didn't mean it like saying like,
no,
oh,
no, no. I
you.
know you're not referring to me personally, but because, like he said, like, come on, let's keep it real. You were saying it because I'm the brother. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we can be honest. It's
No,
okay.
then look, I'm light skinned, but like my
Come on, bro.
daddy
Listen,
black, my
listen.
mama
No
white.
need to go deep into it. No, no. What I'm because
No,
no need to go deep into it. But what I'm trying to
That
tell you
was
is,
But
worse. So Marty's a
no.
thug because
Usually it
he's a
be me.
darker hue?
No,
God.
yeah,
usually
that's
thank
it
a
you,
be
Chad.
me.
Thank you.
Is what I
thank
was
you.
trying to say.
Nah,
Let's
Why
No,
are
we're
you
not
Usually it
going
be
making
there.
wait,
We're
wait,
me.
not
wait.
going
one
there.
mic,
Hold
guys.
on, Jonathan.
Cindy,
Why
these
are you
guys know
making
Cindy's
why
bringing
are you
colorism, and
making okay, but there
Cindy's
you
bringing
go
colorism
again.
in.
You made
I
the
wasn't
word
trying to
thug
bring
about hold
colorism
on.
in. I
You
was saying
made the
usually
word
it be
thug
me.
about color. And
yeah,
thug is not
thug is
about
a white
color.
thug is a white person word too. They'd be like, yo, you're a thug
Thank
for
you,
sure.
Jeremy.
Like
Thank
yo,
you.
like
I'm
Thug is
sorry,
an
but it's
Indian
not a
word.
color
That's
thing.
literally what I said. So I don't
but
understand what's
thug,
happening.
so when you say thug,
Exactly.
Like, what's
but when
happening?
you hear thug, you don't immediately think of a black guy fucking with on wearing Timberland boots. You think of like no, that's what you
If
Yo,
think
you
of
don't, that was
because
awfully specific, sir.
Jeremy, that's because we're from Boston. So
you're racially
we
profiling
have a
your own
different
shit.
analogy of a thug.
Yeah,
No,
we.
that's
I'll tell you,
actually
a
no,
thug
no.
is a dude. I know a thug that's a white guy that'll break your face, and I know a black guy that's a thug that'll break your face.
Let's be clear. All right, thug has taken on a very unique, real definition now.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
go by Tupac.
you know what that is. Let's not.
A thug is like some.
So let's not sit here and try to like dress it up. We know what
But
thug has
but but
become.
but that's not. Why do you say thug? There are plenty of thugs,
You're right. There are plenty of thugs. No one has disputed that. No one has
but it's
disputed
not
that.
just black
No,
thugs. You're like,
one second. We just said that. That's why we say Ashley Babbitt's a thug. I think you came in a little bit too late. The
oh
cake's
yeah,
already
yeah,
baked.
okay, I got you. Yeah, there's some white thugs too. There's some.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely caught the tail end, Jerry. That's what I
My
was
bad,
trying to
brother.
say,
I
bro.
was just
Yeah.
saying like there are all kinds of thug looking
Yeah, Jeremy,
motherfuckers.
that's what I was saying.
I
Though.
see a motherfucker in front of 11 said he was Asian. I was like, for sure, he a thug. Like this dude had tattoos on his face and all kinds of shit.
There you
I was like,
go.
oh
Once you have tattoos, you're, oh my God, my son must be the biggest thug. He's got
no, on
tattoos.
your
Mo-
on your face, on
Right?
your face.
Yeah,
No,
on
that
your
that
face.
that
Marky
right
Mark
there, that's
has
a
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
bait.
Jesus. Those are
yeah.
just kids that can't find themselves.
What
No,
All
about
right.
tattoos
Whitey
on the face
Bulger?
is some.
Somebody put
What about
tattoos on their face. I'm like, yeah.
That's just
Whitey
dumb
Bulger
What?
was a
intelligence.
thug.
All thugs
I'm
are
not
A,
is
kids
like
who
Whitey
a
can't
Bulger a
find
thug?
sleep is
themselves?
thuggish behavior.
So
yeah,
Like,
all
yeah.
I
thugs
no,
are
I'm from
kids
the
that can't
South. All
find
those
themselves. That's what
tattoos,
she
that's a
just said.
thug, and I'm grabbing my purse.
One sec. Hey,
All
it has
Man,
ki-
to at least
all
be one.
all kids
stop
that
what?
can't find themselves are thugs. That's what
Y'all
she
need to
just
stop
said,
being
bro.
retarded.
Oh
No,
Y'all know
no,
what a
no.
thug is.
That's
Come
not what
on.
she said at all.
Y'all
One
know
one
what a
That
second.
thug.
is what
Y'all
she just
Face
said.
face
like
tattoos.
I
They're
said, if
listen,
I'm
fine.
walking down the
listen.
street at night, guys, and I see some white kids in trench coats, I'm going to
They
the other side of the
thugs.
street.
We out.
I'm
We
going to the
out.
other side of
What
the
white
street.
kids wear trench
I'm going
coats?
the other side of the street. Like,
Get the fuck out of here. I'm like,
And
get the
Jonathan,
fuck
there
y'all,
out
you
of here.
have it. Our politics dividing us, friends and family. Yes, we
I
can't
saw some
agree on
white kids on
thug.
an
We can't
elevator
agree
the
on
other
thug.
day in
We're
trench coats.
divided.
You saw kids in trench coats?
Listen, that's exactly what it is, Rachel. It's as simple as that. The word thug in and of itself can divide us.
I saw
Because
two thugs.
we all
Think
grew
about
up
it.
with
If
a
thug
different
can
meaning
divide
of
us,
thug.
Lord knows what politics can do.
Yo, I
Yeah, I
saw two
want
white
to.
kids on the elevator the other day in trench coats. I just said, that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not fucking around with white kids in trench
You,
coats, man.
hell
But
no,
what
you.
if
I want.
what if
I want to. I
hold
want
They're
to
on.
help
dangerous as
everyone
What if
here
fuck.
what
because
if hold on. What if six white kids walk by you with yarmulkes? Are you gonna be afraid that they're a thug?
No,
Nah,
definitely not. No
no,
shot.
no. Hey,
Shit, why
hey.
not? Why not? You don't know
You
who
know
Maya
why
Lansky
not.
is? You don't know who
Yeah,
You
Maya
know why.
Lansky is?
You know why not. Stop.
Thank you to
mm.
God. Maya Lansky was a thug.
Yeah. No, no. Of course, Maya Lansky was a thug.
That's
Okay.
like 1 out of 10,000.
Yeah.
Stop it. Come on.
What are you
Let's
Yeah.
go.
talking about? Every Jewish guy was the what? The bookies, the ba. They would
Yeah,
if you're a
you know what?
bookie,
You
you're
kind
doing
of right
illegal
about
things,
that.
you're
Yeah,
a
you kind
thug.
of right. That kind of right. Yeah, to the diamond districts. I'll show you some thugs in the diamond district for sure. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Cindy. You kind of right about that. You kind of right about that.
Skull.
I'm telling you,
J-
Jeremy, you in the matrix.
Jeremy, are you
Yeah,
there?
it's cutting out.
Yeah,
Nah.
I think
Jeremy, you
we
cutting
all
out, man.
grew
We
up
losing
with the
signal.
word thug and we all interpreted it
Yeah, but
differently.
Thug has evolved, Cindy. Thug has evolved. Hey guys, is there anyone down there and anyone down there in the gallery that wants to chime in on this, man? As we have before we wrap this thing up, because we're gonna keep the conversation going after we wrap it up. But yeah,
Anybody
hey,
like
hey,
else?
Jonathan.
No,
Hey, Jonathan. When
y'all
headline,
said
go ahead,
all
headline,
kids
go
that's
headline, go
lost is
ahead, headline,
thugs. That's
go.
what y'all
One mic
said.
on headline, one mic on headline, go.
Go ahead, headline. Say what you got to
I'm
say.
just saying. Y'all said literally. She said all lost kids are thugs.
Who
That's
said
what
that?
she said. A bunch of
well,
people
most,
who
I
can't
mean,
find themselves.
It's
but that's what
true.
That's
happens.
what. So also
That's
you
true.
saying all
That's
of them?
true. That's true.
Who
And
How
is
is that
she?
true, bro?
Who is she?
you want me to elaborate?
How is that true?
Do you want me
But
to
who
elaborate?
Just because you ain't
who is
Now,
she
Can I
about
elaborate?
what?
go, Jeremy. I want to hear you elaborate. Of course.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you
diversity.
why. I'll tell you why a lot of lost kids become thugs because they're lost kids. They have no parenting, no guiding. They're going down the wrong road. They have no one to put them in the right direction. If you look at statistics, if you come from a broken home, you're more likely gonna become a thug than not. That's
Facts.
why.
You're not
I
wrong about
don't know
what you
about
just
broken
said.
I
home.
know I'm not
I don't
wrong.
know about broken home. I don't know about that, guys, because there's a lot of
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, no.
no, that's
'Cause-
not true. A lot
Well,
of kids.
Jeremy, 50% of marriages break into divorce.
exactly.
So
That's what I'm
Yeah.
No,
saying.
no, no.
that's
The
hold
a
on, bro.
broken.
I
No,
keep
no.
getting
When I
dropped.
say
I'm not
That's an
cursing or anything,
outdated
bro.
definition.
hold on, hold on. When I say broken home, I don't mean mom and dad divorced. I mean mom drunk at the bar. You know what I mean? Like broken homes. Those kids left to defend themselves, fend for themselves, and they have to get street smart and to get thugs because that's what's out in the street. I'll get out in the street with your friends. They teach you how to survive. That's how you move. That's really what it is.
According to the ACE study, the more ACEs you have, like having a broken home, having a parent in jail, having a parent with a disease, mental health issues, it's more likely that you end up in jail, more likely that you have a bad circumstance when
That's
you
a
grow
fact.
up. Yeah, so I
That
mean,
don't mean you a thug.
it's
Uh,
more likely though. It's more likely.
to God, can you share with the class real quick? I mean, I'm aware of this term. Can you share what ACE stands for, real quick, for everybody?
What's
ACE
this?
is adverse childhood experiences, right? They say the more adverse childhood experiences you have, the more likely that you have that you go to jail or you end up with a disease or you die early or all of these different outcomes.
Yeah, because it's like what you know. Like for instance, my brother and my sister are still very, very, very. But they never. But that's what they know. They've never traveled outside of New England. They ain't
So
never
they
been
thugs.
nowhere. What's that?
So they thugs to you.
Oh, my brother's a thug. Don't get it twisted. He went to prison for hitting somebody in the head with a cinder block for 10 years. He's the real thug, no question. He's the type of dude roll up on you, put a gun in your mouth, take everything you own. He's that guy. So yes, he is 100% a thug because that's what he knew. He was raised by a bunch of Hell's Angels who were. So yes, he's a fucking thug.
Now, Jeremy, now, listen. What you said earlier, I agree with you. You don't have to go in detail, but can you explain the context? Why did he lead to that lifestyle?
Because
Not trying to get your personal
yeah,
business,
I'll
but
tell you,
the
it's
reason.
because I'll tell you. So the reason why I am the way I am, and my brother and my sister the way they are, is that I had higher learning, right? So sometimes if you come from like a really bad background, there are people that can kind of grab a hold of you, that can kind of mentor you and kind of move you through the situation, like friends, people you look up to, and then you start to kind of learn. And it really comes with knowledge. A lot of people in the hood, in parks and all, they don't really have, they don't understand that this is really possible because they've never seen it, they've never smelt it, touched it, been around it. So it seems very like not likely to them, right? So if you get around somebody, you see some money, you start traveling, you start seeing the world in a different place, you start realizing like where I'm from, that's not normal, right? So you start adapting to your surroundings, right? So when I got out when I was 18, I got a record deal, and then I started being around all these very wealthy and successful people. Then I got a technology, and I kept moving farther and farther and farther away from where I grew up. But my brother and sister didn't ever have that. They never had like a mentor or a person to lead them or guide them.
This is
So
the
that's
shit I've ever heard.
So that goes back to the original point
Yo,
that
stop,
that that, that
Johnson. What is stupid?
I'm sorry.
What? Was that
Who
Ben
brought
Stock?
up?
Yo, that was Clubhouse. I mean
That's not
TH,
Ben.
my
That's
bad, my
not
bad.
Ben
That was
Stock.
stop.
TH.
Okay.
That's not Ben Stock.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving, guys. Let's keep it moving.
Write a
But
fucking biography.
All right. Okay,
So
one
so
mic,
so
guys.
so, so
Well,
Yeah,
can
go
I
ahead,
just
bro. Go
say
ahead.
something on
Continue.
that?
so
The gentleman
somebody
just
asked me
spoke.
a question, so I answered it. Like, I'm sorry that you don't like
yeah.
it. But you
Can I just add on to that? Maybe 10,
sure.
Hold, hold
15
on.
seconds?
Let me respond to
One
Jeremy.
second, Chris. Jay, go ahead, bro.
So basically, and I appreciate you sharing that. So basically,
Yeah,
you
for sure.
gave the perfect example, a real life scenario, which was the original statement earlier about kids are thugs, right? Well, lost kids are thugs. You put a certain. I mean, not saying not saying they lost, but that's a perfect example when there's no guidance because your life can go either positive or negative depending on your influence who's around you.
You like
So
it's
I
like when
appreciate that
someone
context.
yeah, it's like when someone makes the like, yo, congratulations being a statistic. It's because people like, Cindy, if you see a kid from a broken home whose parents are drug addicts and but that person usually becomes what they know. Like
Absolutely.
it's they just become that. It's not like they're like out looking for it. If you go talk to any drug dealer too, they're like, oh my, I love the streets dealing drugs. Like that's just literally what they know. You know what I mean? So they're not taught any different. So like if you teach people different, they start getting a higher learning and understanding. Like, oh, if I applied the same type of shit to drug dealing, I could. It could be. It's just all about preference and mindset, really.
Absolutely. No, 100%. I agree with that 100%, guys. Wow. Man, oh man. Guys, that is just hearing this out.
I guess we
Jer-
all learned what thug is.
Yeah, we definitely learned what thug is.
Oh, we definitely did, Cindy. And
I
you're not
think
a
we
thug
got.
no
I think
more.
we came to an agreement
You're
here,
no longer
right?
a thug, Cindy.
Thank
That's
you.
for one.
So I'm gonna ask you a
Two,
question. Once
two,
one's find
we
themselves,
as
are they still a
citizens,
thug?
we,
If once you find yourself,
we
are you still a thug for the ones who do find themselves?
Well, if you're doing
yeah,
thuggy
no, good
shit,
luck for that.
then if you're doing thuggy
Nah.
shit, then you're a thug. If you're changing your atmosphere, then no, you're not a thug. But y'all don't get Cindy is not a thug, but Cindy could put some real thugs in your neighborhood at any given moment. I don't think you guys really understand. Like,
Sure,
don't
hey,
don't
listen,
don't don't
Jeremy.
don't, don't let the house like fool you. Like,
Jeremy. Jeremy, Cindy had people outside your house asking you how you doing. Would you like a cup of coffee and just driving away on your ass too?
no, like it's not. There's two. There's
Yo,
and then there's organizations in life.
man,
Y'all, there's a reason she has contracts with those concrete guys.
Marty,
yo,
can I
let me
can I
tell
say
you
something,
something.
Marty? Can I say something one time?
1 second, guys. No, at this point in time. Hey, guys, real quick, I want to say, wow, this has been a very interesting conversation that we had tonight. So,
We're
absolutely.
divided, bro.
So, yeah, absolutely, folks. This has been a really interesting conversation we had.
Yes, and Jeremy just assumed that because my name ends in a vowel, okay?
Okay, guys, can you guys handle it? Look, all right, guys, this has been a really interesting conversation that we had tonight, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for actually coming and participating in this conversation. Hey, if you guys are listening to us on, whether it's iTunes, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever, Pandora now, wherever it may be, Overcast, guys, we do this every night on the Chatter Social app. You can download that Chatter Social app either at the Apple App Store or at the Google Play Store. Come join us for these conversations. It's fun, it's lively, it's very entertaining. It's much better in person. So, but hey, you guys can always download the podcast if you're in these rooms. Okay, if you guys are in these rooms, you guys are able to go up to the link and just click the links up top. We're actually on YouTube right now as well. So these YouTube videos go up as well. You guys are going to start seeing the shorts and the reels and everything else from those as well. So, folks, I want to say thank you guys for coming out. As always, appreciate you guys. Hey, guys, with that being said, guys, we'll be back next time. Make sure you guys are following us. Make sure you guys are here on Chatter Social. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. And make sure you guys follow the podcast. I want to say thank you to Daphne Christine.